Let me tell a tale of a world where heroes walk among us, fighting through the darkness left by monsters and by selfish men. A tale of glory rent asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on.
Hello! Welcome everybody, how we doing? My name is Pixel, and we are Ages of Einor. What's up, what's up, what's up? How's the vibes in the chat today? Everybody doing alright? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So, I am Pixel. This is Ages of Einor, and we are super stoked to present to you the very fantabulous 8th episode of Waterdeep Dragon Heist. So, as usual, we're going to get started here in just a few minutes, but before we get into the game, we're going to go over our usual housekeeping stuff, and then as usual, last thing before we get started, I'd like us to go around and cast. If you would please introduce yourself and your characters before we jump in.
Hi everyone, I'm Jacob. I play Oz, the Changeling Bard. I just got my second dose of the vaccine, and all my blood fell out. So, yeah, moving on to the next person.
It's just to make room for the nanobots. Hi there, my name is Redbeard the Pink. I am the Wizard of the East. I am on TikTok and Facebook and various other forms of social media. And I just ate probably the best plate of chicken tenders I've ever made, at least. And feeling pretty good about this stream. Ready to go.
Nice. Trish.
Hi, my name is Trish, and I play Mel, the 10-year-old boy changeling. That's a surprise.
Yes, indeed. And Beast.
Hey y'all, I'm Beast. I play Bill, the sharply dressed barbarian mobster. And yeah, let's have some fun.
Excellent. And Skull.
Hey guys, I play the Warlock, the Dark Elf. I just passed my test today, and I do play video games on Facebook. You guys can watch me, but I do it very late at night. Other than that, that's it.
Nice. And Beatrice. Or Haley, I'm sorry, you're a real human, not just a character.
I'm a big kid now. Hi, I'm Haley Comet. I play Beatrice, the beekeeper / ranger. And I am looking forward to the stream. I have a TikTok. I guess I should mention that.
Yeah.
Haley __ Comet.
Yeah, I'll post those socials in chat for you, in case anyone hasn't followed us yet. If you haven't on our other various platforms, what are you doing? Go check us out. We're great. Obviously, you come here every week to see us. You think we're fun and funny, go check us out elsewhere. Okay, so...
I think I forgot to mention who I play. I'm playing Redbeard the Grey, who is the rogue of the party. That's really all the introduction he needs, I feel like.
Fair enough. All right, well, without further ado, let's jump right into it. So, when last we left our heroes, we discovered that Ozymandias Buckshank wasn't Ozymandias Buckshank at all. Rather, the person adventuring with our party from the beginning was a nameless changeling, hired to impersonate him all throughout the north end of the Sword Coast for a publicity tour? The real Ozymandias Buckshank showed up at the Yawning Portal several months late with hardly any explanation for himself, and berating the changeling Oz for poor performance despite grossly underfunding his little venture. He paid Oz a paltry fraction of what he had promised, forced him to reveal his true nature to his adventuring companions, and then proceeded to blow the roof off the Yawning Portal with a performance worthy of a 1980s hairband, reaching heights of collective euphoria, frenzy, and excess heretofore unknown at the portal, which, as a bar full of D&D adventurers, sustains structural damage and devolves into either a fight or a bacchanal with dangerous regularity. Following Oz's having lied about his whole identity down to his species, several days later, he got a surprise midnight visit from Mel, who revealed in a masterful and emotion-inducing performance by Trish that Mel, the sorcerer and owner of Trollskull Manor, is in fact not a very weird middle-aged human woman, but rather a very normal preteen boy, if you overlook the shooting lethal magic from his fingertips and ability to shapeshift because he isn't a human at all. He's another changeling. Side note, they both pick changeling completely independently of each other, and trying to give opportunities for their reveals while keeping this a secret from the entire party has been some of the most fun I've ever had as a DM. Moving on, following the touching revelations of Oz and Mel, we took a short trip back in time to the first week of the downtime to resolve the mission that Davil's Starsong had given Oz and Bill, to find whoever was murdering elves and half-elves in the dock ward. A few nights of searching finally led them to catch the assailant in the act. He tried to kill a half-elven dock worker, but the hero sprung into action, chasing him through alleys and over rooftops. They discovered he was a drow elf gunslinger. During the fight, he tried to take Arlo down with him, but Bill managed to beat him to death with a hammer. The hero stole his guns and ammunition and dumped his body into the harbor, and justice was served. We actually have two little things to resolve from the end of the downtime just before we get back into the current timeline and the explosive advent of Chapter 3. So the first thing that I kind of want to jump into real quick is what we do with Bepis' wife and Bepis Honeymaker. And then, Bill, I think you saw there is a little chat inspiration for you.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, Ham Pamwich.
So, so I'd like to just hop back in time to kind of parse out what you guys tell Bepis' wife. I don't know that we'll fully resolve the Bepis subplot here, but I just kind of want to catch up and make sure we know exactly how that's being handled, and then there's one other thing to do.
Well, I would like to tell her exactly what we know,
Okay.
and encourage that if she's going to go confront them about it, which she should, that we should be present for that.
Okay. Okay. So I think I don't want to get into like a super long thing there. So if it's okay with you for me to hand wave some of that,
Okay.
what I think is going to end up happening, she is going to have you guys there for that conversation if you want. She is basically going to browbeat them into paying the ransom, and she's going to ask you all to be present for the handoff. But it's going to take some time to arrange that. So that's sort of where we're going to leave it as we go into Chapter 3, is that you guys are just waiting to be contacted to find out when this handoff is going to happen. If that's okay with you guys, for me to kind of elide some of that.
Sure.
Okay.
Cool. And so we'll come and revisit that later at some point when we get a chance to actually do the handoff and go a little more
Real
in depth.
quick little side thing. At some point or another, Redbeard is going to try to have a conversation with Oz.
Okay.
Probably at the manor.
Okay. Cool. So before we get into that, then the next thing that I want to do real quick is I want to resolve the renovation of Trollskull Manor. I know you guys have basically in week 4 of the thing, of the downtime, blah, blah, blah. I know what we're doing here. In week 4 of the downtime, you guys acquired the funds through mostly the heist to probably go ahead and look at those renovations. So I wanted to kind of parse that out and see what you all planned. It wasn't quite as much money as you had hoped, but it was certainly sufficient to at least start the process. So, how do you guys want to handle that? If you need a refresher, I can give you the one on what it will cost to open up the place.
Well, I say we split the bill. We split we take it from the whole pot. Whatever's left over, we divvy up, put aside a little for Mel, and we call it a day.
Sounds like a plan to me.
That sounds great.
Main priority is getting the place open. The rest of the renovations can come after. Which you said getting it open is going to cost like what, $1,500?
Yeah. So the one-time expenses, if you're just doing the bar part of things and not dealing with like the underground fight pit renovations, are $1,250, and it takes 12 days to renovate. So the beginning of Chapter 3 will be kind of mid renovation.
All right, and then the fight pit and fixing up the actual house section.
I think the house section is included. I'm going to say the house section's included in that $1,250, but not the fight pit. basically.
Okay. How much do you think the fight pit would be?
Yeah.
Included?
Well, we had
as well
initially-
as Arlo's poker room.
Yeah. I mean, I think given that 5,000 was the target, I think whatever the difference is, because like it's a major underground renovation. You're gonna have to dig under the street and shore it up with, if there's sewer, you're gonna have to like divert the sewer and stuff. Like there's probably a lot to that. So I'm gonna say whatever the difference between the 1,250 and the 5,000 would have been had you gotten all the money is probably what the renovations were expected to take. So that's 3,750, basically.
Yeah.
That's the whole pot.
So the entire pot would go towards.
Yeah, well, it's 3,750 more, like on top of the 1,250, right?
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
So total 5,000 to do.
Yeah,
everything.
what? Because like that's because I feel like that makes sense. Like if the plan for the heist was to basically get about 5,000, right? And with that, I would have said you would have been able to do every renovation you wanted. There may have been a little left over at the end, but like in that ballpark, right? Then that sort of makes sense to me. Oh, also, Beatrice and Mel, you both have chat inspiration. Thank you, guys. Thank you, chat.
I think
Thank you.
that we should have the fight pin.
Hell yeah.
I think we should have the fight pin so he can make more money because he can win more fights than I can. Cheating.
Well, that's the thing is if
You
we're going
gotta
to do
make
this
money to spend
legitimate,
money.
yeah, if we're going to do this legitimate, then we need the bar first, right? I mean, that's
Or if you're going to be fixing fights, then you want to at least pick a guy who's not going to just never stop hitting people.
we're not trying to fix the fights anymore. We're making
we're
the
not
pit
fixing the
legit.
fight.
Yeah, I'm done losing.
Maybe.
You know what, Bill? You're a winner, and you deserve to win if you're able. That's what I think. That's just my own too.
Thanks, buddy. I just, for it to be strictly legal, I have to let the other guy get up after.
Okay, so you guys are then wanting to try and do at least the fight pit.
Yeah, we could just do the fight pit and then
Okay,
just
so you
renovate
had
the whole room.
37.
No,
so
no,
we're doing the
that.
bar
you're doing the
first.
bar. I don't think you have quite enough money
Oh,
because
the
you
bar.
got after the 3,750. How much do you have left after the 1,250 comes out?
We've got
2,500.
Or
Yeah.
2,500.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna say it's probably about 3,000 to do the. No, I'll say it's probably 3,500 to do the fight pit part of things, including all the because like I'm thinking. So let's ask this question: are you because like to do the card den upstairs in the actual den? Like, you'd have to let people go through your house to go play cards, right? Like, there's no external way without going through, like, the main, like, dining room area into that. So you'd have to, like, add another staircase or a way to get up from downstairs, which is kind of another big renovation. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So, yeah, I'd say that you can, if you can get up to about 3,500 in hand, you can go ahead and do the fight pit part of the renovation. And then if you want to add the remainder of the 1,500 onto that at some point, you guys can do the hard shark den thing. But the 1,250 off the top will certainly get you enough to just open the tavern as a regular business.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
we do that, and then
conversation,
next big job, we'll get the rest of it.
Okay.
So if we divide it by 4, we all get 625 gold for Mel to get some too.
My conversation with Oz might have an impact on how much money they wind up having.
Okay. Yeah, well, then let's go ahead and do that.
So at some point or another, like I said, probably at the manor, probably like he's gonna try to hit a moment when they're like in passing, but there's also kind of nobody else around. Like, he's not gonna go knock on his bedroom door. It'll be like if they're both in the kitchen or something.
Okay.
And he'll just kind of initiate, or in the courtyard, whatever. He'll just kind of initiate this conversation, be like, "So Oz, I distinctly recall when you were telling us about this Ozymandias Buckshank character paying you. It just seemed like you maybe weren't that satisfied with the amount of money that you received. Did he pay you everything he owed you?"
Well, there were some difficulties with the agreement. I didn't. I fulfilled my end of the bargain, but there were some difficulties that came with that. Obviously, I didn't leave the Ozymandias Buckshank name in the best light by the time that everything was done. So
The man screams in bars and blows flames at the ceiling.
yeah, and everyone loves it. Everyone loves it a lot more than a guy who borrows money and passes out in alleyways.
I mean, I feel like he probably passed out in an alleyway after that performance he gave. But the point is, he didn't. So it sounds like he gave you a bunch of reasons why he wasn't going to pay you, and then he didn't pay you what he was supposed to.
Yeah.
Based on what I'm hearing. Okay, how much was he supposed to pay you?
Ballpark 1,500. 1,500. About 325, 340.
So he owes you, like, what, 1,300 gold, something like that?
Yeah. Listen, things like this happen. It's bad for business to get on the customer's bad side, right?
Sure. That's understandable.
What if
yeah.
you're done with that land?
Okay. I was just curious, it was a moment in conversation that went by, and I just, I was curious. I apologize if I've been intrusive. I mean, I don't want to get involved in your business necessarily.
No, I mean, I'm leaving that life behind anyways.
Well, then.
Fair enough. That's probably for the best. So DM, at some point, we don't have to resolve this like now or during this session even, but Redbeard, as like, if I can catch this dude while he's still in Waterdeep, that'll be ideal.
Okay.
And my plan is basically threefold. I want to try to show up on a night when he's performing and kind of get to be like the drinking buddy groupie sort of character a little bit, like egging him on, throwing him tips, but also kind of trying to pal around with him a little bit if I can get close enough to him. And just get him in a drinking mood, get him as wasted as I possibly can. But I'm not gonna pour liquor down his throat, but I want to I don't know, socially engineer him into being a little more intoxicated than usual on this particular evening. I want to find out where he keeps his money and where he sleeps, probably going to be the same location. And then I would like to sneak into that location while he is passed out drunk, take some money, and leave.
Okay. All right. So what I think I'll say is that you're trying to track him down, but because the whole handoff of the thing happened right at the end of week 4 of downtime, right? So that actually brings us pretty close to the current moment. I'm going to say that you maybe haven't quite managed to track him down yet. It seems like his plan is to play every amenable bar in Waterdeep, and there's a lot of them, and it's hard to figure out where he's going to be next. Sometimes he hits more than one in a night. He's a real,
Gotcha.
hard worker, that guy. So yeah, I'll say you have it, but the next chance that we get, we'll take another crack at it and see.
Very well.
But I'll say yeah. So part of what you're doing with your downtime is when you have any, right? Is look for that guy. So we'll kind of
go there. Robin Hood that motherfucker, basically.
Yeah. So okay, excellent. All right. So that I think covers everything. Major that we had before. I want to get back into the present moment. So we're going to kind of hop back in. If you guys could sort of recap for me, we're looking at a morning where it's kind of early in the morning, and you're all at Trollskull Manor for one reason or another, and it's sometime in the week following week 4 of the downtime. So this is now that 5th week after downtime, and it's kind of mid-renovation, based on what we've talked about. Things are in the middle of kind of being renovated. And so I'd like you to kind of go through for me and remind me what you all are doing on the moment in question. So it's early in the morning, some morning after that week.
I do have a question. Well, that's when we're level 3 already, right?
Yes, everyone's
okay.
level 3. Yep.
Maybe
Oh, you know what? There's actually one last thing I meant to do before we got into this, which was to kind of ask you guys if you could walk me through real quick, what archetypes you want, because level 3 is a big level. So what archetypes did everybody choose, and what sort of main class features did everybody get? Because I kind of want to go through that stuff just so I know, and just so people in chat know kind of what's the deal with you guys. So I guess we'll go through the order we normally do. Oz, tell me about Changeling Oz Buckshank, the level 3 bard.
Yeah, so the Changeling has taken the College of Lore for his level 3 trait, which essentially allows him to get a lot more skill proficiencies, and also at some point in the future, it will allow him to kind of borrow spells from other spellcasting classes. He also gains Cutting Words, which allows him to throw off the roles of enemies and the opposition.
Okay. Excellent. I don't see Red. He must have stepped away. Mel, if you'll walk us through your sorcerer.
I will with your help,
Okay.
DM, because you
Sure.
helped me so much on all of this. I know that I now have Tides of Chaos, right? Was that a new thing? Or did I
Yeah, so
already
that's
have
actually
it?
not new. You've had that since level 1, but we've never really used it. But let's talk about it so people know what it is.
Well, it means that I can get advantage once per long rest if I'm using my Ray of Frost or on a saving throw or an ability check. I just call it. I also have a thing which we had in level 1, which we haven't really used, which is Wild Magic Surge. It means that when I cast a spell, the DM can call for me to re-roll because of the wild magic thing. I have meta magic now, and I have sorcery points that I can kind of trade the sorcery points for spell slots or to get advantage, or I can trade spell slots for sorcery points, I think, kind of.
Yeah, so you can't get advantage with your sorcery points. You have 2 meta magics, Quicken Spell and Twin Spell. Quicken
Yes.
Spell allows you to take a spell that's normally an action, spend 2 sorcery points,
And
and
make
make
it
it
a
a bonus
bonus
action.
spell.
Twin Spell, when you cast a spell that targets only one creature and doesn't have
I
a range
can
of
hit
self, you can
2.
double that. Yeah, you can make 2 versions of the same spell. And yeah, so for those of you who haven't noticed before, because we haven't really done much with it, Mel is a wild magic sorcerer. So Tides of Chaos and Wild Magic Surge are related to that. Super cool. Excellent. Let's go back and pick up Redbeard.
Okay. So let's see. I am a rogue. I'm level 3. I know my sneak attack damage went up to 2d6.
Nice.
I got something called steady aim, which means I can, as long as I haven't moved in a round, I can grant myself advantage. Which is good for rogues because of sneak attack.
Yeah.
And I picked the thief archetype. Beatrice, would you pull my character sheet up real quick just to remind me what that does?
Looks like you got 2 class features called Fast Hands and Second Story Work.
Fast hands and second story work, that's right. So fast hands, I can use a bonus action to make a dexterity check. Can you get the cursor off of the... Using my thief's tools to disarm a trap or open a lock or take the used object. Oh, I see. So I can use my bonus action for things like picking locks, disarming traps, that kind of thing. And I also can climb faster than normal. So climbing does not cost me any extra movement. And when I make a running jump, the distance I cover increases by number of feet equal to my dex mod, which
That's
is
pretty cool.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
So it adds to my long jump.
Quite a bit.
For my parkour, which is great for the flavor of my character.
Okay.
Which is part of why.
Yeah, Trish, you're waving your hand at me. What's up?
I should have mentioned that I got a second level spell, which is Spider Climb.
Yes, Trish got. Nice. Yeah, and so that fast hands, that's pretty cool. Like normally those things, if you would take your action, but you can use that as a bonus action, which is pretty rad. And then second story work. That actually, because normally your long jump is like what your strength mod or something, which for you is
I think it's
not
like
much.
it's
10
some
plus your strength mod or
base
something,
number
right?
plus your strength
Yeah.
modifier.
So
I think.
adding the
Yeah.
dex mod to that for you instead is pretty cool. All right, go ahead and let's jump over to Bill.
I think it stacks your strength and your dex. I think it's a both thing instead of an either thing.
Right,
So
and just that your strength mod is 0 currently. So
oh yeah, that's good.
really help you. So it just adds that. Okay, so Bill, let's talk about Billy Boy.
Yeah, so Bill has taken a primal path as barbarian that it was homebrewed, and I'm using with permission, with Pixel's permission. It's called Path of the Brute. It's specifically designed for barbarians in an urban setting, which we are in Waterdeep, and it gives me these specific things: unarmed and dangerous. Which gives Bill, it makes his unarmed attacks, instead of 1 plus his strength mod, it's a D4 plus his strength mod.
Oh.
And if I have both of my hands open, they are D6s.
Oh, you get monk damage. Nice.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And while raging, with every unarmed attack that I make, I can make a duplicate second attack,
Woo!
making Bill a very, very dangerous unarmed fighter, which is what he's been training for these
Yeah,
Pass
and
it
it's once per turn when you use an unarmed strike with the attack action.
Right.
So, yeah.
Sorry. And then Bill also has the wrong crowd. As long as I'm drinking, carousing, gambling, or doing any kind of tasteless hedonism, I get advantage on checks for working contacts, gaining information, navigating a city, little things like that, which are basically Bill working his network of informants in the underbellies of Waterdeep.
Excellent. Love it. All right, Beatrice. Beatrice has a rather exciting new addition to her repertoire. Let's talk about the new mastery of your stingy little friends.
Hey guys, you know how I said I was a beekeeper? Well, now I can get them to do things.
Yeah.
But-
So
I've
yeah,
got
go for it.
a ability, Swarmkeeper Magic. You learn Mage Hand cantrip if you don't already know it. When you cast it, your hand takes the form of a swarming nature spirits. You know, bees.
Yeah.
So you can make your bees like grab things and move things. Oh, that's tight as hell.
Yeah, and you also learn some extra spells, I believe. I think at this level you get Fairy Fire, but it's bees. So instead of it like making it like light, or maybe the bees are suffused with magic, but they swarm around your enemy, causing them to be easier to hit. And I believe that just adds to your list. It's not like, because as a ranger you pick a few spells, but you get a pretty limited number, right? So they just add these each level that you get a new level of spell, you get some extra spells
that are set,
in
but they're
addition to
free.
that. So that's pretty cool. And then Gathered Swarm, right? You on each of your turns, you also can have the swarm assist you. It can do extra piercing damage. They can be moved. You have enough bees that it can move a human being. That's
Wow.
right. They have to make a strength save or be pushed by the bees.
Oh my god.
Or you can have the bees move you. You can have the bees move
Beatrice, you
you
can't make a
horizontally
ranged intimidation check
in a
about the
direction
bees.
5 feet of your
Yes,
choice.
I can.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Can I just say I love? Oh, you also have Fairy Fire, but it's bees.
But it's bees.
But it's bees.
But it's bees
is the
somehow,
best
yeah.
description of anything.
And in addition,
Nice.
these
you
things
like
with
apples?
your swarming insects, the stuff you can do with Gathered Swarm, doesn't take an action or a bonus action, so it's basically free stuff. So that's pretty cool. And I skipped Arlo for some reason. I was so excited about the bees, I think. So let's go back and pick up Arlo. What do you got?
I got a pact of the tomb. I should say that right.
Yeah.
I get 3 extra cantrips, and I know that I pick Spare of the Dying. I did pick Friends and Toll of the Dead.
Nice. And so I have a question, which is, so your patron is a very mischievous fox woman. What does your tome look like? Is it like a scroll that unrolls that has these spells on it? Is it a book? Is it like is there anything like gambling associated? I feel like coupon books or like stacks of poker chips that just have like arcane runes scrawled on them.
With them scrolled
Scratch offs.
Scratch offs. That's a book of
Hold on,
scratch offs.
guys. I have to scratch this one off to figure out what spell it is.
That's excellent. Yeah, I like that. I think I'm into it. So you have like a little scratch off book, and maybe the scratch off book has like what's supposed to be like motivational advice, like if you can dream it, you can do it, or like today's going to be a great, or like fortune telly stuff. But really, it's just instructions on how to cast these extra spells or something. I don't know. Anyway,
The book, I want to say it has like the 4-leaf clover.
nice.
So that's the cover of the book. It's like a 4-leaf
Yeah.
clover.
You're
Excellent.
right. Got it. Eldritch Blast. Damn it.
Damn it! I already had that one. Okay, you also picked up a couple of new spells, if I'm right.
Yes.
Or one new spell, yeah, at least.
It's called Misty Step, where I'll
Nice.
be able to teleport 30
Yeah.
feet away.
Excellent.
From
And then
someone.
you also get, you have a racial bonus for being a dark elf, Fairy Fire. You get once per long rest, you can cast Fairy Fire without using a spell slot. So that's.
But it's not bees.
But it's not beast.
But it's
This one
not
is
beast.
just magic fire, like it's normal supposed to be.
But
So
it's the devil.
a fraction of the coolness of that. But okay, all right. So yeah, just kind of wanted to catch everyone up on all those super dope third level advancements for everybody, so that you guys aren't confused when they all start busting out this new stuff and being like, "I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that," and you're like, what is this? No one's done this before." So okay, but now the moment we've all been waiting for, we are gonna go ahead and pop into the morning of the explosion. So let's jump back to that moment in time. Oz, what is Oz doing? The moment of the explosion.
Oz is brainstorming names by his window with a cigar in his mouth. He's got a little notepad and he's kind of scribbling. He's like, Cassius, Dionysus, damn it. And he takes a cigar out and he looks out the window for a few minutes and it pans onto whoever is
Okay,
next.
yeah. So Redbeard, you have arrived at Trollskull Manor because you don't normally live there. What is Redbeard doing that early in the morning? We're talking probably like 8:30 or so.
8:30 or so. Okay, so Redbeard has probably taken to. So he is kind of a professional hobo in addition to being a rogue, and so what he's probably started doing is sleeping near the manor to gauge how many hobos / homeless type characters there are around, how easy it is for them to live, sleep places, things like that, and also to just kind of keep an eye on the comings and goings of the city, especially at night. I mean, he's going to be resting, but when he's not like asleep, he's going to be kind of keeping an eye out.
Okay.
And then he probably at about this time in the morning has slipped into the manor as unnoticeably as he can, and he's just in the kitchen like trying to scrape up some breakfast, maybe a little coffee.
Excellent. Okay. And Mel, what is Mel doing on the morning of the
Elle
explosion?
had gotten up really early and gotten out her never-ending pipe that blows bubbles. And she's had a great idea as she's trying to make friends with Fluffy, her black spider, who is totally ignoring her. So she came up with this idea that she would blow the bubbles and put the insects. She was gathering little dead flies and bugs and things and try to pop them on the bubble and see if she could and blow the bubbles toward this Fluffy to Fluffy would think, oh, it's a flying spider. I'll get it in my web. But it isn't working. The bubbles keep popping and the dead flies keep falling and Fluffy is totally ignoring everything. So she remembers that there are some really big mysterious bugs down in the bar and she's heading down the stairs to the bar to look for more bugs.
Excellent. All right, Bill, what is Bill doing? I believe we had discussed maybe you were training in the attic, but
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, so
That's the only one I remembered for some reason.
Bill wakes up every day at the crack of dawn and he chugs a glass of raw eggs and he pounds a wooden post that he installed in the middle of this room exclusively to be pounded on. And he has just absolutely just obliterated his knuckles. They're all like mashed calluses and he sort of wraps a little linen around them, but it's not very tight. And he's just sweaty and he's kind of in between sets of jabs and whatnot.
Nice. All right, Arlo, what is Arlo up to on this early morning?
So he's gonna be at the library, waking up, hearing hearing Mel running down the stairs and hearing the top of hearing the thuds of the hits that Bill are making. He'll be like, huh? Oh, that's right, my work. As I'm just continuing reading the book my patron gave me.
Gotcha. Excellent. Learn the new stuff. And Beatrice.
Beatrice would have gotten up kind of early and is observing her almost chemistry style mead making kit, and she is researching mead making, trying to pull things.
Okay.
And,
Nice. So, and I think maybe because for story reasons, I need everyone to be at Trollskull Manor. So maybe you've set up down in the basement where the wine cellar was. So that you
I was
can.
gonna say I was sitting behind the bar, cross-legged.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Excellent. So you're sort of behind the bar. Yeah. Hell yeah, love it. Okay, so as everyone is doing all these things, Oz staring wistfully out the window, considering names. Sorry, the changeling staring wistfully out the window, considering names. Redbeard in the kitchen. Beatrice nearby behind the bar. Arlo up in the library. Bill in the attic, and Mel rushing down the stairs. Windows rattle as the roar of an explosion fills Trollskull Alley. Boom! Charred bodies and anguished screams fly through the air. Oz, you can see this right outside your window. A thick cloud of acrid smoke bellows outward from the blast, which seems to have occurred right outside your door. What do you do?
Oz sprints down into the hallway looking for Mel immediately. First thing he does.
Excellent. So yeah, I think we'll say that Mel and Oz meet at the stairwell as Oz.
And is this the outside stairs? Is that we haven't renovated that? So
right. So the only way in and out is the outside stairs. You were coming down from the tower room, and I like to think that you've Oz's room is on the second floor and yours is on the third, right? I like to think that the way that actually I should just go put everyone on the map a little bit. This is not going to be like combat or anything, guys, but I do just want to kind of show everyone in chat a little bit the layout that I'm talking about here, and I'll drag you guys with me. Let's go find the new proper Trollskull Manor. It's still mid-renovation, but this will at least give you an idea of what to be expecting. So Oz has come out of his room on the second floor, and he probably comes through the side of his room out to this hallway. Mel, you ran from your room down the stairs, right? And then, so you probably meet Oz right about there.
Okay.
Beatrice, you are behind the counter in the bar, and Redbeard was scrounging up some breakfast in the kitchen. Let's see, Bill, you are in the attic. Blah, 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 blah. Where are you at, Bill? Bloop, there's Bill. Bill's in the attic punching things, and Arlo is in the library. You probably hear Mel rushing down the stairs right there. So that is kind of where we can pick folks up. We're not in combat. We're not tracking movement exactly or anything like that. I just kind of wanted folks to know a little bit of what we're looking at. So just so they can sort of see where folks are on that map. Cool. So Oz and Mel meet on the stairs. What about everybody else?
Yeah, Bill takes running off down the stairs.
Okay.
He's probably going to go into Mel's room.
Okay. So yeah, Bill comes down the stairs and makes his way for Mel's room. Arlo, you've heard the explosion. You've now heard two people rush down the stairs. What does Arlo do?
I'm gonna say that as soon as I heard the explosion, hearing people running out the stairs, I guess I'm gonna open the door and I'm gonna see Bill run past, but as soon as I see Bill run past, I'm gonna go straight over there with him too, because I mean,
Mel!
Okay.
That's the reason. So I'm gonna be right behind Bill.
Okay, so you guys rush over towards Mel's room. Beatrice and Redbeard, who are on the ground floor and are going to have the quickest access to the outside world, what do you guys do?
Well, Beatrice immediately lets out a blood-curdling scream and drops the beaker or something that she had in her hand, and it shatters.
Excellent. So yeah, there's a shriek from downstairs. What about Red?
Redbeard likewise drops whatever he's doing, but it's less of a startled, oh shit kind of reaction, and more of just like a springing into action kind of reaction. And he is going to bolt to the nearest window that is nearest to the sound that he heard. So somewhere on the front side of the house, just the nearest window, and is going to kind of try to like peer outside and see if he can spot what's going on.
Yeah, the nearest window. Well, we said that Oz saw it from out of his window. Oz has several... He's got windows on every side of his room, practically. So yeah, the nearest way is probably the front. So we'll say the nearest window is going to be, you're going to come out this way, up and around. It's probably directly through there.
Okay, then yeah, that's...
Okay. So yeah, you guys can see there is, I don't know if I have art for this. Maybe I do. Boom. I can show you guys. That's GM stuff. Yeah, I can show you guys this. Okay, so you look out the window, Red, and you see. I'm gonna bring this up for chat as well. This is basically what you see. You see this explosion nearby. You see there are market stalls. Oops, I'm hitting my thing. You can see
So
market
I'm not seeing
stalls
the actual
sort of
fireball as it unfolds, though, right? I'm seeing the aftermath.
the leftovers, yeah, because it's like an instantaneous thing. But I mean, it's now this smoking ruin. You can see there are several bodies in the street. People are panicking and rushing around in response to this.
Mel would say, Oz, what was that?
There's some kind of explosion out in the alleyway. I gotta get out there. Right outside in the alley.
Yeah, you guys
Down
hear
here,
upstairs. Mel, they're dealing Mel.
So are we
right.
going to race for the stairs to go downstairs or to the front of the building to look out?
I've got a balcony outside next to my room. We can take a look from there. I gotta get down there. If anyone's hurt, I'm the only one who can take care of them.
Bill grabs Arlo and runs downstairs with him.
Okay.
Mel rushes to the balcony window to see what she can see while Oz races
Okay.
off.
Yeah, Oz runs downstairs and around the outside exit.
Trollskull.
I was gonna say, as soon as Bill picks me up, my hair's all over his face.
Okay. Okay, so T1 is Trollskull. So you probably won't be able to see much from the back alley. I want to say what's going on here. Let me just sort of give you guys
It's like
a
in
little
front
bit.
of the house, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it says basically right near your front door. So here's the front door. I want to say where this place is probably like over here somewhere, kind of.
So I'm looking out a side window then.
Yeah, well, I think it's probably like right there.
Okay.
Right, so it's okay. Let's say it's here, like on the corner of your house, basically. It hasn't hit your house, but it's like in the alleyway near your front door, and there's been kind of an explosion in just the middle of the street, basically. So
As soon as Mel went over to the front window. As soon as she hears the thundering down the steps and the screaming from Bill and Arlo, she's going to meet them wherever they are, turn back and say, the explosion, Oz saw it. And she's going to head for the stairs that go outside also, because that's the only way to get down.
okay,
Redbeard is going to
It's
head
actually-
out the front door.
yeah, go ahead. Sorry, it is still currently on the way down. Yeah, go ahead, Red.
Redbeard is going to head out the front door and kind of like wade into the crowd. And basically, he's going to kind of scan around for information. He wants to see if he can figure anything out about the explosion, but he's in particular watching the people. Is anybody like trying to slip away or run away but doesn't look scared? Looks like they're just trying to get away, kind of thing.
Yeah. So, well, so the first thing that I'd like Oz and Redbeard to both make an Arcana check. Oz, I'd like you to make that with advantage because you were looking out the window when it happened.
All right. That's a 19.
19, nice.
All right, my roll is incoming.
Okay. Now we wait on the internet. Maybe try and hit it again. It'll probably roll twice, but
We're clicking.
there
things.
it goes. Okay, 11. Okay, so Oz, with a 19, you can tell for sure that is definitely a fireball spell. Red, you probably have your suspicions, but you're not 100% sure yet.
Okay.
And yeah, so
Do you need a perception from me to see if I spot anybody like?
yeah, so as you come out, you know, you see other people coming out of their houses as well to kind of survey the devastation. You can tell that it didn't set any buildings ablaze. Let's see. So you're trying to see if you can find anybody running away. Yeah, go ahead and make a
Or
perception check.
just behaving counter to the situation. People coming outside and looking makes sense.
Right.
People running in terror makes sense.
Right.
People tending to the wounded makes sense.
Right.
Somebody nonchalantly watching doesn't make sense, and
Right.
somebody trying to flee but not looking scared doesn't make sense.
Okay,
So those
yeah,
are the
go ahead
two
and-
main things I feel like I'm looking out for.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check for me. 14. Okay.
14.
Yeah, with the 14, I don't think you do quite notice anybody. You can tell there's a huge press of bodies. It's still early in the morning, but there were some people kind of at like the market stalls and things like that here. and nobody like catches your eye. You do notice a few of the people kind of coming to look. You notice that there are about 10 or 11 bodies that aren't moving in the devastation. You see there are a few like witnesses. You remember the owner of the shop directly across here, T4. They've come out of their house or their shop, and they're looking at the devastation. You can see there's sort of a noble woman who is coming up the street from over here, from up towards the bookseller's way, who is sort of stopped and is staring, and both of those people look pretty well in horror. You can see that there's like a young kid there who's sort of staring on in horror. Those are sort of the three that catch your eye. And then there's the bodies, but nobody catches your eye in terms of like seeming suspicious, like they were involved.
When Oz gets to the base of the stairs, he stumbles from it and winces and cups his side and feels the intense bruising and remembers that he is exhausted.
Right, he does have exhaustion. Lucky that you had that 19 on the front half, huh?
Yeah, right. And then keeps running for the explosion.
Okay. Beatrice and everyone else. What are all the rest of you doing? Red has rushed out into the street to see what he can see. What is everyone else doing while he's doing that?
I got carried by Bill.
I'm
Bill.
in the corner of the house trying to see what Oz is doing
And
and looking
Bill,
at what happened.
Bill's gonna try to get out in front of Mel, and yeah, likewise also get a good look at what's going on.
Okay. I'm not sure. So, Mel, you're saying you're doing something in response to what Oz is doing. What is Oz doing then? I'm a little confused. I missed.
I think she's just following Oz.
Okay.
Is what?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I was just trying to keep my eye on Oz and go where he's going.
So
Okay.
are we outside already, or?
Well, that's what I'm trying to determine. So, are you guys
Yes.
heading outside then? That's what
Yeah.
I'm to understand.
Mel is a minute or two behind Oz.
Okay.
Okay, she went and looked
Yeah.
out the window. Then the guys came down the steps. She knows Oz went for the stairs.
Okay.
She probably even would say, Mel would probably even say, Oz ran outside. And she's going to follow because if I'm not mistaken, that's our only way out now.
Correct. Yeah. Because I don't think the renovations have progressed to where Oz has his like fireman pole down into the tavern. Just yet. Okay, and Beatrice, you've dropped your flask of mead making materials. What's your next move?
I'm gonna follow Gray out.
Follow Ray out. Okay. Okay, so Gray, you definitely have. I'm going to give you a little bit of time since you're the first one on the scene before everyone else shows up. You don't see anyone on your initial scan that makes you think like, oh, I need to follow that person. That person's involved with this. What's your next move?
My next move is to get up high,
Get up high. Okay.
to get a better view.
Okay. So the easiest way to do that is actually
about not being spotted.
Uh-huh.
Honestly, I'm pretty much just gonna either Trollskull or whatever other nearby building I think I can get a good vantage point from.
I think Trollskull's going to be your best bet. You've got that tower, right, up above Mel's tower room. Like, she's got the room in the turret, but then there's one more level up that's actually in the spire, right? You could either try to parkour your way up the side of the building or go back through the house to get up there. But that's probably your bet.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's that efficient to go back through the house, so I'm going to use parkour.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, so I think there's here's the way I see this playing out is that you hop up. There's a lower roof next to the kitchen under Oz's window. You hop onto that and rush around. You know you can sort of swing yourself up into Oz's balcony, right, and get up there, and then from his balcony get onto the roof above, and then across the roof. So that's sort of how I see that going. Let me pop you guys over to the maps just because I want to draw this out so people know what I'm talking about. So this roof, you kind of rush around from the door to this roof. You rush up. Oz has a balcony like right
We can't
here,
see it,
and then
David.
you do what now?
We can't see it.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we can see
Oh, we
it.
can't?
blue lines.
It's
I'm
just the
sorry,
map.
I can't see it.
It-
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
see what you're doing.
So, and then you parkour your way up onto the third roof and sort of get up to the next level. and then over to the turret, which I think has like a 365 kind of window situation up there, so you can kind of look around and see. Okay, so while you're doing that, I think that gives everyone else an opportunity to kind of get on scene. So while Red is headed up to see what he can see of the nearby situations and stuff, what is everyone else doing?
Oz is looking for survivors.
Looking for survivors, okay.
First, like anyone who's injured or burned, but alive.
Gotcha. Okay.
I guess since Bill carried me all the way down there, I'm just gonna be like, all right, big guy, I got this. As he drops me off, and I'm gonna be running with.
And I like how Arlo is thinner, but actually taller than Bill by a significant amount. So like, I don't know if you were piggybacked, but like your head is way.
So
up
it was
there.
a fireman's carry.
Fireman's carry, excellent.
Fireman.
Love it.
So I'll be like, I got this. As I'm patting him in the back, and he just drops me, and I'll be running with Oz. To see if there's any survivors or anyone that's dying that I can help out.
Okay.
Finally.
Yeah.
Bill, as he sets down Arlo and those two run off, he's going to see you said that there was a child near the explosion?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Bill wants to run and grab the child and pull him away.
Ah, perfect.
Put
Love
them
that.
away.
Love it. Yeah. Okay, so you go find this child. And this child is kind of a little freaked out. So I actually want to resolve that thing first. So he sort of looks up at you and says like, my friends were in there. My halfling friends, they're not moving.
Don't look, kid, look.
And you can see he's got something clutched in his fist.
Okay, I'm gonna grab him by the wrists and pull him close.
Okay.
Don't look at me. Don't look anywhere else but me, kid. All right, we gotta get you to safety.
Yeah, and I think he keeps trying to look, and you have to keep like blocking his vision. And I think you pull him maybe over here around the corner where you can kind of see, block him away. And he says, he's kind of like starting like hyperventilating. He says, right after the explosion, I ducked in behind a rain barrel, and then I heard a noise. I found this in the barrel, and he holds up in his hand. He has a necklace in his hand, a golden necklace. Dangling on the necklace are two beads on a small chain. You can see, Bill, that the beads seem to shine with this kind of red glint.
It's a necklace of fire.
And you can see that there are a couple of broken chains on the necklace where maybe other beads go.
So it's not a mage.
Well, hey, give me that. It's not polite to take other people's things. Bill's
Okay.
gonna take that away from him.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to make I don't know if this intimidation or persuasion. You can let me know which variety of charisma check you'd like to make on this child.
I'm gonna.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I can't. It's gonna be. How about deception? That doesn't belong to you. You should give it to me so I can.
I think that sounds like intimidation to me, honestly, because it's kind of like it's
You're
not like you're
forcing
trying to
me-
scare this kid, but you're using like adult authority. You're saying like I'm an
Okay.
adult, I get to make
That's
the calls in this moment. You need to give me that thing, right? Not
right, here
like
we
you're
go.
trying to scare a child, but you're trying to invoke authority of.
Ooga booga.
I'm a grown-up person, so I get to make the rules, right?
All right,
13, beautiful. That'll do. So he sort of hands it over and he probably starts crying and like buries his head into
Let the
Bill's.
record show that Bill scares children on purpose.
Well, I think he's, I don't know that you can scare him any more than the explosion that killed his friends, but
Yeah, to be fair, he had a lot of help.
yeah. But no, I think he just like starts sobbing, not in response to you taking the thing, but he's just it's an overwhelmed child. Like this, clearly sensory overload, can't process what's happening, is just having basically a meltdown. But Bill, you now have that necklace.
Okay, so Bill, clutching the necklace, is going to pat the child on the head. don't go anywhere, okay? I'm going to go look for your friends. And he's going to run back to try and continue to usher more people away from the explosion.
Okay, and you all can, you can just hear the wailing of this child in the nearby alleyway. Okay, so that's Bill. Oz and Arlo both rushed up to search for if anyone who is hit by the thing has survived. So go ahead and make a, I guess, an investigation or perception check, either one of you, or both of you.
They're both 3. And I'm making it with disadvantage.
Ooh.
If I
That's
have
11.
if I have passive perception already.
No, I think passive perception is a thing that I'll call for if I want to find out if you
Okay.
notice something without actively looking. But you are actively looking for things, so that's going to definitely be a check.
Okay. Also, is it like light? Like, is it daylight right now, or
It is daylight right now. Yeah, unfortunately.
All right. Well, I get a disadvantage.
Okay. 7. Okay. Yeah. So, you guys, here's what you can determine. There are 11 people, and they are all dead. There is an elderly female human woman. There are 2 cloaked male humans in leather armor with sheathed long swords. 2 female humans and 1 male half-elf dressed in plain clothing. 1 male gnome wearing a burned cloak and clutching a dagger. And 2 female halflings who are playing a flute and fiddle, it seems. And 2 male halflings who were dressed in entertainer's clothes.
Are they like officially dead, or can I?
Oh yeah,
still...
they are fully
they're-
dead.
they're-
Unless you've got Revivify on you and a diamond worth 500 or 1,000 gold or whatever. These folks are unfortunately beyond your help.
Okay, I got 7 out of those 11. I got 1 dead old lady,
Okay.
2 armored guys,
Yes.
1 male gnome with a dagger, 2 female halflings, 2
yes.
male halflings.
Right.
2 humans
2
and a
female
half-elf.
humans and a half elf dressed in plain like servants' clothes.
Got it. All right, cool.
I'm going to swap back over to this map now that we're not. Okay. So. Beatrice, you have rushed out by the... Beatrice and Mel, I think, have both rushed out as well. So what did the 2 of you do?
I'm gonna look for sus people.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead
Okay.
and make an investigation check.
Okay. That's not great. It's not perception.
That could be perception, sure.
Okay.
Ooh.
9. Okay. Yeah, again, kind of like Red, you don't see anyone fleeing or anyone looking suspicious. You do see a few folks standing around. You see, actually, you have been a little bit around the nobility just from Bepis's wife and, parents a couple of times here. You see a Waterdavian woman nearby who has her hand over her mouth, but you can kind of tell that, like, she seems like she's got something to say. She looks like a gossipy kind of a woman, and it seems like she has some kind of opinion about what's happened here. You can tell that she's sort of, like, looking around, and she almost is, like, looking for someone to, like, talk to.
Oh, I'll be an ear. I'll go over there and
Okay.
be like, hey, did you see what happened?
Oh, it's just so terrible. Oh, all of this, I tell you, it was horrifying, but well, I've seen something. Quite curious. I normally don't frequent this part of town, but I had to meet with someone just up the road, and I saw something fleeing the scene. Wasn't a man. More like a puppet, shaped like a man. Horrid thing. A puppet without strings. It was on the rooftop, and she points over at a nearby rooftop. And it hurled something into the crowd below that caused the explosions. I saw those halflings burned alive. I saw them.
You saw a puppet throw something that caused an explosion?
Yes, a big, giant puppet-looking creature. Without strings. No one was controlling it. Just on the roof, and it lobbed something
How
officially down into the fray, and Well, killed all those people.
How peculiar and horrifying.
Oh, yes, I thought so. I'm about to perish from the excitement.
Well, remember to breathe and drink some water. And the guards should show up here soon with the noise like that. So maybe you can help them figure out what kind of giant puppet thing this was.
Well, one should hope. And she kind of goes off to maybe spread her little story to whoever else will bother to listen to her.
Giant.
Okay,
So,
go ahead.
From the top of the turret, I'm obviously less concerned with acting cues from up here and more concerned with movement cues. So people running to help makes sense. People running away makes sense. And people running for help makes sense. I'm specifically looking for somebody who looks like they know where they're going, who is moving very fast, and is either hanging out to watch, or is like trying to get away and looks like they're like they've got a route planned. Like I'm watching for somebody making a getaway.
Okay.
Basically.
Go ahead and make another perception check for me.
Okay. Okay. That one's a dirty 20.
Okay, I'll say that you don't necessarily see anybody running. What you do see is a nearby roof, and I've got to go actually to my map of Waterdeep to see which direction it's in. You see a nearby roof to the east that seems like it and I assume that, like, this is not your first time up in this perch. So
Sure.
You're familiar with the roofs around this place. You know, you see a roof that has quite a few slate tiles that have fallen off of it. It's well away from the blast. You don't think that it's something where it was like shaken loose by the blast, but you notice a ways away with that 20 that there's like some tiles have been knocked loose and off into the street in a place.
It looks
that
like somebody
weren't.
did a sloppy roof run.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And it's off towards the east.
Off towards the east. Okay. I'm probably going to go ahead and start following that trail across the rooftops and see if I can get any, if there either more disturbed tiles or any other clues. I'm going to get to that point and then scan around for the next waypoint in the clue chain, I guess, if there is one.
So while you're doing that, go ahead and make either a survival or an investigation check to track them, whichever you feel prefer for your character. And then Mel, I'd like to know what you're doing.
Okay, as soon as Mel got to the edge of the tower building and she's looking, is the explosion gone now and what's left is the
I mean, it's still sort of smoldering, and smoke is sort of wafting up into the air and billowing, but there's no more like ongoing explosion. It's just sort of a char and a burn and a smoke sort of situation.
Okay, she is looking for any member of the party that she knows, and she's going to rush towards them, which it sounds like most everybody was heading for the bodies. So as she rushes towards those bodies, does she notice anything unusual about any of the costumes that they're wearing or anything like that?
Yeah, make a perception check for me there, Mel. I do apologize to everyone at home listening. I have allergies today, and so I'm going to try not to sniffle too much into this microphone, but it's a bad time.
Now, is this the ability check that I could actually do an advantage on if I wanted
You sure
to?
could if you wanted to spend your Tides of Chaos. Great advantage, you can do that.
I think that I want to, in this moment of excitement and whatever, and seeing this scene, yes, I think I want to do that. So I'm going to roll it with advantage.
Okay. 15. That's actually what you needed to notice the stuff. And I want to look at Tides of Chaos real quick just to make sure.
Roll
What
Tide.
I'm doing. Loop. Ability check or saving throw. Okay, so here's the thing I have a question about. Tides of Chaos, and let me just read this ability so everybody at home knows what it says. Mel, I want you to think about, how does that manifest? So what Tides of Chaos says is, starting at first level, you can manipulate the forces of chance and chaos to gain advantage on one attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. Once you do so, you must finish a long rest before you can use it again. Anytime before you regain the use of this feature, I can ask you to roll on the Wild Magic Search table once you cast a spell of first level or higher. And if I do that, if I make you roll on the Wild Magic when you cast a spell of first level or higher, you will regain the use of this feature. So what does it look like? You're channeling your magic energy, your connection with chaotic arcane power in order to grant yourself advantage.
Mel comes around the corner of the building. She sees, I'm assuming, smoke and people and excitement. She's looking ahead to see where Oz, she probably would see Arlo instead of Oz because he's bigger. She heads towards that. She realizes that they're doing something with bodies. You really can't see this unless somebody was actually looking at her, but her eyes start to roll back in her head a little bit, and there actually are the whites of her eyes showing. And what that does to her is it increases her perception. So she somehow has the ability with what she's doing to look between the bodies, to look between the legs, to be totally focused on what's on the ground in front of where Oz and everybody is, and Arlo is headed.
Okay.
So it's almost like she has close-up vision of what she sees in front of her.
Yeah, okay. And I think when this manifests, we kind of get into Mel's perception, and it's like drawn almost like telescopically to several different things. You see, a wisp of ember floating away. You look at the bodies, and it's like zipping around to these different things. And I think you have two things that you notice, because you've had experience with both of these things, and recently. Okay? You notice, as you flash back to the warehouse, that one of the dead male humans has a black winged snake tattooed on his right forearm, in a bit of flesh that is not too charred to notice. And you notice, the dead gnome has dry waste and excrement on his boots, exactly like you and your friends had when you came out of the sewer.
Gang war.
He also has a bulging pouch at his side.
Oz very shakily brings a cigar to his lips and casts prestidigitation to make a small flame appear out of his finger and lights it.
Nice.
And just kind of standing in the chaos.
Oh, I go up to him and be like, "What are you thinking, detective?"
Mel wants to dart in with this hyper thing that she's got going. Like, there's no thing about the snake or the excrement or whatever, but the bulging pouch is a thing. She's going to try to dart through in and around. She's very slight, and see if she can get to that before anybody really notices.
Let's take a look.
And maybe she can't. That's just what she would do.
Yeah. You can slip in there. Are you trying to just open the pouch and look in it? Are you trying to snag the pouch? I'm
trying to snag the pouch.
Okay, I'm gonna need
and
you to make.
And that's on the dead gnome, right?
Yes, I'm gonna need you to make a sleight of hand check for me, please. Okay. Ooh, nice. Yeah. So you definitely nab the pouch off of the gnome.
That's a 17.
I would have been smelling the excrement in the shoes too to see if it reminded me of how the warehouse smelled, but that's just for flavor.
Well, the excrement is from the sewers, not the warehouse.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Excuse me.
And yes, it would remind you. Okay, so let's pop back over. Red, what did you get on that investigation or perception or whatever it was?
It was a 14. The ghost roll was a nat 20, but I don't guess that matters.
Right. So, I think you're able to track this. I think maybe let's have you do a skill challenge. So we'll kind of, not really exactly skill challenge. I'll have you make a couple of investigation checks as we go, sort of panning two different places here.
I mean, I was already stacking my skills in my head, though.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, which ones do I need?
Yeah, sorry about that. And then, you head west. You head east towards Whalegond Alley from Trollskull Alley, and you get to the end of it and know that it crosses over towards maybe Sardone Street, but you'll have to make another check to see where it goes next. Meanwhile, and if you'll make that, I guess, investigation check for me. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, 17, nice. So meanwhile, back at the ranch, It's been about 20 minutes now, and the city watch begins to arrive. So you can see that guards sort of rush in and begin to cordon off. They post people at the entrance to the alley where it hits the streets. And they don't allow anyone in or out without permission from us. So you can see that they're like cordoning off who might be witnesses, and they're trying to keep passers-by from the north and south kind of streets nearby, out of the area. And then you can see several more guards begin to come towards the dead bodies, and kind of they start ushering you guys away. And they say, away, this is a crime scene. We've got to investigate. Back up. There's nothing you can do for these people now. Let the watch handle it. And they sort of begin to usher you all away from the bodies.
The bullies.
And then a few minutes after that, you can see floating, like flapping through the air, is a griffin cavalry rider sort of circling above to watch the streets and alleys for suspicious figures. And while it's doing that, actually, I would like Red to please make a stealth check for me.
Alrighty.
Oh no.
Given
Not
that.
stealth.
Ooh.
Hey.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to reveal this. This is hysterical. The Griffin Cavalry Rider rolled a nat 20, and it has a 23, but your 25 actually beats it. So even though he is as perceptive as he's ever been in his entire life, Redbeard the Grey still manages to evade his notice. I think as you kind of time his circles and like slip behind parts of roofs and buildings that just he can't quite see. He always looks 2 steps behind where you just were as every time he circles around to sort of that part of the alley. Excellent. Okay, so and then shortly after that, 2 more figures arrive. I would like to show them to you. If I have a way to do that does not involve let's see, where's the handouts? Player handouts. Named NPCs.
None of the names.
Oh, it's gonna show you their names.
Oh no, that's Oz talking to the people.
Okay, well, I'll describe them and then you see a human man, somewhat taller, in kind of a guard uniform, leather boots, sort of puffy pants. He's got a cloak on, some sort of studded leather jerkin on top with leather bracers, and sort of a green tunic underneath with his long sword at his side. And he has like a little book that he seems to be like writing details in. He's got a mustache and sort of tousled graying brown hair parted on one side. The other one that you see, who comes in with him, is a shorter man in a flamboyant purple robe with a sort of gnarled walking stick and pouches at his waist. He's got these little round spectacles, blonde hair that sort of curls in front of his face, a massive upturned mustache, and sort of a big bushy beard. And the 2 of them sort of enter the scene. And at that point, the man in purple sort of quietly begins to take charge. He's just directing people around, and the other one has brought a force of about 20 more guards with him. So the one who's brought the 20 guards, the taller man, you hear him say, all right, boys, you know what to do. Get the door knocking, see what you can find out. And he sort of heads over towards the bodies. And the 2 of them are let through the cordon and begin to inspect the corpses. At this point, you guys don't have access to the bodies or anything anymore. What would you like to do? You could retire to Trollskull. You could always begin to kind of question the other eyewitnesses if there are any left. What would you like to do?
What's purple guy doing?
purple guy, has been let through the cordon, so that they've cordoned off both ends of the alley so no one can really get in or out. And then a smaller group of them has made a perimeter around the bodies. They're not letting people into them anymore. The purple guy gets let in and he's investigating the bodies. So he's carefully examining, taking notes. He's trying not to disturb the corpses too much. He may like take his stick and like poke one of the bodies and like look at different parts of them, but he's trying carefully not to disturb it too much.
Huh.
And for the most part, the other guy, the taller guy, is just standing next to him, like writing things down, and they appear to be like talking quietly to each other.
Waterdeep.
Mel's going to back towards the porch of the house, and I don't know that she's actually going to rush inside to start with, but she's moving back towards the house where she could duck inside quickly.
Okay.
And she's still looking around to see where her friends are, where the other members of the group are.
Yeah, so
that
Oz,
she
Bill,
knows.
and Arlo, and I guess Beatrice as well. What are the rest of you all doing?
I'll be going back to the manor.
Okay.
As I'm walking back. I guess I'm gonna see Mel there when I'm walking back, or
Yeah, I think you'll see her standing on the porch as you walk back.
You'll go back into the manor.
Okay. What about Bill?
Bill probably notices Mel at the top of the stairs and sort of runs up past everyone and sort of says, "Get inside! You don't want the watch pulling us out to investigate." And he's gonna run up the stairs to his attic room.
Anyway.
Okay. Going upstairs to the attic room. Oz.
Oz stands there for a long minute and just kind of looks at all the chaos and it's like, "Oh, I thought of a name." And he turns and he walks into the bar.
Okay.
What name?
As he
Interesting.
walks in, Mel follows right behind him.
Okay.
Oz, what happened?
My guess is someone cast Fireball. There was there were 11 dead. They were all gone by the time I got there. I couldn't do anything.
Oz, there were a couple of things about a couple of them. I saw one of those winged snakes tattoos, and there was one of those at the warehouse, wasn't there?
That's the symbol of the Zentarum.
Ah, okay, then was it the cloaked man? One of the cloaked men had that symbol, and I couldn't help but notice that half gnome, he'd been in the sewers. I recognized it from having been there many times. And Oz, he had a pouch, and I took it. I think we should look inside and see if we can find out any clues or anything, and maybe we should give it to the police. I don't know. It was like it was right in front of me, and I don't know why, but I just grabbed it.
I don't
You wanna
trust
see
the
it?
guards. I don't trust the guards as far as I can throw them. Let's take a look. Yeah.
Okay. You open the pouch, and you find 5 shiny, expensive gemstones, looking to be worth about 100 gold apiece, and nothing else.
You said it was a snake tattoo. Maybe it was a gang hit. Maybe this was Xanathar might be behind this. I don't know. Sorry, kid. I'm a little bit out of it right now.
Oz, I don't think we better tell anybody we have these.
No. Here.
I'm gonna go give them to Fluffy.
We've got a spot downstairs where we've got a little bit of coin hidden away.
Well, let's put it there.
Yeah.
Arlo, when you get back to the manor, where do you go?
Well, Arlo's kind of like still exhausted and still like, what's going on? I guess I'm gonna go back to the library.
Okay.
Back to the library and start to read the book a little bit more and start to take notes about anything that could happen or
Yeah.
More about myself, I should say.
You open the door to the library, and you feel this sort of stillness surround you. It's only happened a couple of other times. Sitting in the chair of your desk is Yukitsu, your patron. She's sitting there, flipping through one of your books that you've been studying, and she looks up and says, "Ah, hello, Arlo."
Oh, I must still be dreaming.
Oh, no, this isn't a dream.
Well, what's going on?
What a chaotic morning you've had. Well, I want you to think back and remember those people you've just seen.
Uh-huh.
And so you sort of cast back in your mind, and when you think about the guy in purple that you just saw, you blink, and all of a sudden there is a still image of that person in your library, and she says, "That one, him." I want you to think about what you noticed about him.
The one that was standing there writing the notes, I should say?
Yes.
Okay.
You cast your mind back, and as you do, you can feel her presence in your mind, drawing your attention to his glasses, to his upturned mustache, and on his neck, he has, on a golden chain, an amulet. It's gold, and it has green gems. It's in the shape of the head of an owl with glittering green eyes.
Oh, no.
And she says, "You know what would make me happy?"
And I'm gonna try to guess here. You want that gold amulet, don't you?
Oh, that would be very exciting. You know, I think I'd settle for a little mischief, but that would win you some really big points.
What kind of mischiefs are we talking about?
Oh, just make it fun. Do something entertaining. Roll the dice.
As she says that, I'm going to be like, all right, I'll try to get that gold amulet off of them.
Wee! And she says, "Wee!" She sort of like lays back into the window and just vanishes.
Wait, what if I don't? Oh, man. No, she won't.
And then you feel time resumes around you. You were kind of stuck in this moment in between moments when she visited you, but now time has resumed. And you are with everyone else. Okay, I'm going to jump really quickly to Redbeard. That second check is going to get you closer to your destination as you jump and parkour your way across the rooftops. And then...
Okay, so as I'm closing in,
Yes.
I've pretty much always got Pepper, like either on my shoulder or like in my clothing somewhere. I'm going to say, "Pepper, search and destroy." And what Pepper does, and this is something that the character has practiced a good bit, is Pepper goes up, and then Redbeard transfers his senses into Pepper and continues to do so on a turn-by-turn basis. Pepper is keeping an eye on Redbeard, so I know when to jump, when to vault, like I can keep moving across the rooftops, but he's also expanding the range of my vision because he can get up higher than I can. My goal here is to gain advantage on my next investigation check as I'm running along under this bat across the rooftops of Waterdeep.
Okay, here's what I'll say. I'll give you advantage on the investigation check. I know you say you've practiced this a lot, but this is really like crazy difficult stuff, right?
Sure.
Like, I don't know if you've seen somebody a while back did a video where they had soccer players attempt to play soccer, and they had on headsets that showed them an overhead view of the pitch, and they tried to run around and do soccer, right? And it was obviously very difficult. And eventually they sort of got the hang of it a little bit, but like they certainly couldn't perform at peak. So what I'm going to ask you to do is make an acrobatics check with disadvantage it to exchange, and if you fail it, you're gonna fall in the street and take some bludgeoning damage probably. But but we'll grant you advantage on the perception check.
All right, it's investigation though, right?
Yeah, investigation check.
Okay, so with advantage, that's a 9.
Oh no!
But it's not.
Right.
It's not in that one.
Get inspiration
I don't
in the
think
chat.
inspiration would matter in this case because I already took advantage. So
Yeah.
throw the acrobatics check at disadvantage and see what happens.
Oof.
It's a 13.
Okay, I think a 13 is enough not to fall and bust your ass. I think that's fine. But nevertheless, it's not quite as informative as you would like. I'm going to say the closest you can get, you track this thing to somewhere in the vicinity of the block of Horn Street, Lion Street, and Sourdown Street.
Okay.
Or Sayerdown Street. That's the close. You can't determine which exact house, but it's somewhere in that block, which is narrows it down quite a bit. Yeah, narrows down the search area quite a bit. Okay. All right, so everyone else has gone back to the house, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Wait for the knock on the door.
Yeah, so you do, in fact, get a knock on the door. And the two people who knock on the door are the two heads of that investigation, it seems like. The gentleman in the studded leather armor with the green tunic, and the shorter man in purple show up.
Just the people that we needed to see.
Yeah, and so they go knock on the door a few times.
I'll open the door. No.
So the first man in purple pipes up first, and he says, hello, are you the owners of this establishment?
The owner is in here somewhere. I'm just sort of residing here. But yes, technically, I guess.
I see. Well, I am Barnabas Blastwin of the Watchful Order of Magists. I've been asked to lead this investigation as arcane means were employed. And this is my companion with the watch, Saith Cromley. Saith says, hey, how you doing? Do you mind if we come in and ask you a few questions pertaining to the events of this morning?
Sure. Please come in.
Excellent. And would you mind, as you usher them inside, would you mind to gather any other occupants of this establishment, please?
Sure. Hold on. Give me just a second.
Sure. If you don't mind, we'll just take a seat. And they sort of sit at one of the tables. The place is under construction at the moment, so it's like half renovated. There's probably parts where they just cloth on the floor that's designed as like tarp, paint buckets and saws and hammers and nails and stuff everywhere. But they find two sort of relatively intact tables to sit at.
Pardon the mess. We're a little in the middle of construction.
I see.
I want to say that real quick while that's happening. I'm going up to Bill to talk to him really quick. And is Oz there as well in the?
Oz is in the basement with Mel.
Oh, okay. So you guys in the basement. All right. As I go up, I knock on Bill's door as quick as possible.
So you hear some scrabbling inside, So during this time, Bill has been in his attic room taking advantage of a loose floorboard to stuff the necklace that the child gave him into the floor.
Nice.
And he's attempting to sort of like, go away, I'm busy.
I need your help.
Get in here, Big Blue.
So the door's open then. So I open the door and I close the door. And is there a lock on it?
Yes.
I lock it. Okay. As I go, I need your help.
Well, me first. All right. Look, just put your foot right here, okay?
Okay. So I put my foot wherever he says to put it.
All right. And Bill just takes a meaty fist and he kind of pounds on a nail to sort of reset it back in. Okay, good.
I think you take 1 piercing damage from punching a nail.
Yeah, okay. And he's going to kind of lick his bloody fist. All right, what did you need?
All right. So a favor for a favor then. I'm telling them to this person. I did you a favor, now you do me a favor.
I'm listening.
All right. So, I just got a contact from my patron, and he
She
wants.
got a sister?
I never asked that, but she wants me to steal a golden amulet that's on one of the.
Well, I don't have one.
No, not you. I meant on the police or those watchmen, the one that we saw. Or I don't know if you did. Did he see that?
Bill saw those guys come up. They showed up before you guys all went in the house.
Bill, I need you to help me do crimes.
I need you to help me do a crime. I need you to distract them while I take off the Are you better at doing that, or am I?
Tell you what, we'll go down together and we'll sort of figure it out.
All right, but I need to get that amulet.
All right, Bill's putting on his shirt, and he's sort of brushing himself up. Okay, all right. Well, you go in the behind, and I'll go at him from the front, and we'll just see what happens.
Okay, so and as you've been asked to summon everybody, Beatrice, where do you go first? I think you would know. You actually maybe don't know that Mel and Oz went to the basement. So, do you go upstairs? Do you go check the basement? Where do you go to look for everybody? Or do you just shout? Oh, you're muted. Do you just shout up the floor?
I guess I start at the lowest floor and work my way up.
Okay.
Kind of.
Fair enough. Okay, so you pull open the trapdoor to the cellar, and you probably can see just in the corner as you poke your head down on around the edge, Oz and Mel stuffing something into a loose brick in the wall as you guys are hiding evidence of this crime all over your house.
Oz is sliding a wine rack, like a wooden wine rack, kind of back over a dug up hole in the ground where he has stuffed this.
I like how we're all hiding things.
I love this. I love this so much.
This is where we kept the money
that
we used to renovate the place. Oh, hey, hi.
In a hushed tone, she's gonna be like, "Hey, can you guys stop doing sketchy shit for one goddamn second? Because the investigators are here and they want to ask us questions."
What? Like they're outside?
That's probably about when
You let them in the and Oz the changeling.
Who left Beatrice on watch?
I love this.
Runs
I
up.
can't wait till she comes up here with me and Bill.
The ladder and comes around the corner. And just officers.
Excellent. Okay, Bill, you were about to say something.
I was going to say, when Beatrice said, can you guys stop doing sketchy shit for 1 second? That's probably when you hear Bill pound the hammer. And then go, ah!
Excellent. Okay, so Oz and Mel, or Oz comes up the stairs. Mel, what do you do?
Well, Mel's going to travel a little bit more slowly, kind of confused by, just confused.
Okay.
So she's going to come up the ladder, but I don't think she's been in the basement very many times, so I think she's out of her element a little bit.
Okay. And then Bill and Arlo, I assume you're headed down to the main thing. Red, is that correct?
Yeah, we're specifically heading towards Mr. Purple Pants.
Okay. Yeah. I think you probably, because you don't know that he's in the house, right? So you probably start to head to and you have to come down around the front of the house, right? Because the stairs are outside. But as you're going past the front, you probably glance over and see them sitting by the window table in the bar. And make your way up into the front door. And then Red, once you kind of lose the trail over near that block, are you staying over there to continue to investigate and watch, or are you headed back to home base to gather your allies? What's your plan?
Even though I've lost the trail for the moment, I don't want it to go cold. So I think at that point, I would probably drop into the street.
Okay.
And kind of continue my investigation on the ground.
Okay, excellent.
So, asking around. I might even I think I have a disguise kit. Can you scroll down for me a little bit? Yeah, I think I may even try to like, and this is probably also a thing that I've done before. I'll like slip into a corner and like kind of like try to disguise myself as somebody that looks semi-official. I don't know if I like guards probably wear armor, but I might try to like look like an investigative member of the watch.
Okay.
Basically, so that when I'm going around asking questions, be like, hey, did you see somebody go this direction, or like, you see anything suspicious lately? Things like that. People are going to glance at me and like expect me to ask questions like that kind of thing, or like feel like it's reasonable.
Yeah. Okay. So make a sorry, I punched my microphone again. Make a disguise kit check using, I'm going to say, probably in this case, intelligence. Normally it would be dex, but I think since you're trying to like copy such a specific like authority look to know like what would be the tip-offs to somebody that someone is a guard, I think make a disguise kit check. You get to add your proficiency bonus and your intelligence mod.
Okay, so I'm gonna make an intelligence roll and add 2. So whatever I roll right now, that's a 24.
Okay, yeah, that'll do. So yeah, you disguise yourself in something approximating a reasonable city guard outfit. And I think actually, guys, we're about 90 minutes in, a little more than that. I think as Redbeard finishes his disguise and the rest of you make your way down to talk to the cops, I think I would like to go ahead and take our break there, if that's okay with everybody. Take our quick bio break. We're gonna take about 5 minutes, folks, to do that, and so I'm going to drop us back in just a few minutes. So thanks for hanging out, and we will let everybody kind of stretch their legs and whatnot, and we will see you here shortly, okay?
All right, then.
Yeah.
Okay, and welcome back, everybody. We are back. Red and Haley have something going on real quick. They'll be right back with us. So in the meantime, we are going to kind of resume with everybody downstairs in the bar. So now that they've introduced themselves to you, and I want to go pop over to the map screen so you guys can see these folks, I would like to reveal to the players our new friends.
Oh.
So this is Barnabas Blastwind, the shorter man with the medallion and the little circular glasses. What an adorable creature he is.
Looks
and
like you.
This is the Saith Cromley, I'm punching my mic again, the guard captain guy. Captain. Ugh. Yeah, so he's got his little book and his little thing. So those are the two people. So they are sitting in the downstairs of Trollskull Manor. And I actually... Yeah, if Haley's coming back. Cool. So, you have gathered your allies and occupants of Trollskull Manor. And I think so they sort of look around at the rest of you and say, I think the man in purple seems to do most of the talking, says, yes, introduce myself once again to everyone else. I am Barnabas Blastwind of the Watchful Order of Machists, and this is my companion and partner, Saith Cromley, with the City Guard. I have been called upon to lead this investigation, as it was perpetrated by arcane means. We would like to ask the lot of you some questions about what you may have witnessed or seen. If you wouldn't mind, would you introduce yourselves? Sorry, Miss, and he gestures to Beatrice because you're the first person that he met. Who are you?
Beatrice.
Beatrice, yes. And what do you? What's your, I don't know, position here in the city? What do you do here? What's your?
Well, and she has a vague, like, almost buzzing noise about her, like, at all times, basically. It's like, well, it's like, Well, I work at the honey stand over in the trade market. It was originally run by Bepis Honeymaker, but he is indisposed at the moment.
Ah, I see. And do you live here or work here or?
I have an apartment across town, but I visit these fine folk every now and then.
I see.
We happen to be friends, and I'm actually looking to try to make and sell honey wine at this establishment when it's done.
Ah, I see. So you all are renovating the bar then? Opening back up for business?
Eventually, yes.
Ah, I see. And who is the proprietor of this establishment to be?
Well, as
Yes, I
in
dropped
whose
it
name's
on
on
the
the paper?
I'm sure. Who owns the property?
That would be this one over here. Her name is Mel.
Ah, yes. Hello, Mel. Tell me, how did you come by this property?
Well, this man asked us to do something for him, and he was going to pay us a lot of money, and then he didn't have it, so he gave us this house.
I see. Interesting. And the rest of you, are you employees? Do you live here? What's your
Well-
deal, as the youth say?
They're my friends.
Yeah, what she said.
Yes, and who are you, sir?
Oh, I'm just a good old homegrown Waterdavian boy. Just, out for a day and having families and...
Yes, well, the thing about us Waterdavians is often we have, you see, when we're born, our mothers give us names. Might I know what yours gave you?
Bill, no relation.
Never mind. Yeah, he sort of scans around the rest of the room, waiting for someone else to introduce themselves. He seems like he's hoping you've caught on by this point. What?
Officers, my name is Floon Blagmar. Now,
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
aspiring bard, you may know me, Notorious Lothario.
I'm dead.
I'm hoping to enjoy this place once it's opened up, so I was stopping by to visit Mel and Bill and Beatrice. They helped me out, you see, that for the establishment.
Excellent.
And
Make
Oz
a
has taken
deception
the
check.
form of
Has taken Flume Blagmar.
Flume Blagmar.
Excellent. Yeah, make a deception check for me with advantage because you've got the persona. This is great.
Yeah.
Because
That's at 24.
Yo!
Oh, wait, no, it's 26.
It's
yeah.
26. Yeah, because you had disadvantage, but it cancels, so it's just straight. Yeah. So, I see, Mr. Blagmar. Well, okay.
I saw what happened. It seemed like somebody cast fireball in the alleyway.
Yes, we also believe that to be the case. Well, and you there, sir. The tall, dark, and berobed.
Me?
Yes, you. You're the only one.
As I'm kind of quivering.
No, the other one.
Oh, there's another one. As I turn around. Sorry,
Yes.
I'm Arlo. As I held my hand like real close to the necklace, but like kind of like facing his hand, like more like that.
I see. And he's short and you're very tall, so he like reaches his hand up to try to like shake your hand. It's all very awkward. I see. Okay, and he sort of like slinks back in his chair a little bit, and he says, "Well, if you all wouldn't mind, I take it to understand that you live here, and some of you might have seen what happened. Would you mind telling me what you've seen or heard, or if you know anything about what happened here?"
Didn't see nothing, didn't hear nothing.
There was a large explosion. Were you elsewhere this morning?
I was in bed asleep.
our dear friend takes a lot of hits to the head, and he may be dumb and possibly deaf.
I see. Bill, I'd like you to make a deception check. I would give you disadvantage, but I'll give you advantage from Beatrice. I'll give you
Thank you.
advantage back, so it'll be just a normal roll because Beatrice has given you the help action with her
13.
comments. 13. Okay. Let's find Barnabas Blastwind. How smart is this guy? What is how?
Oh, it's smarter than I want him to be.
Probably.
I
Very
think insight is wisdom based. It's really how wise is he?
yeah. Oof. He's got a pretty good.
Probably pretty
That's
hot.
what I was
He's got a pretty good, but he rolled garbage. Wow,
Yes.
Barnabas. He doesn't seem to think it's all that important. Then I suppose. And it says,
As that is-
well.
As that is going on, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be walking around the table, but like kind of like stopping right behind them, and then like keep.
And so
going,
the thing is,
like,
when
I'm
you're
just,
behind him, his friend is staring at you. Like, so they're sitting on opposite sides of this table, right? So like, just bear in mind that Seth Cromley is going to you're be in his line of sight while you're behind him. Okay. And so he says, well, okay, so you think that there was a fireball. You didn't see or hear anything. What of the rest of you?
Well, I was coming down the stairs to look for food for my pet Fluffy. I live up in the tower room, but I wasn't in the tower room. I was coming downstairs.
Okay. And did you see or hear anything relevant to the 11 dead people outside?
I heard a huge explosion and it scared me, and I ran outside around the corner of the building and I saw it.
And what did you see, dear?
I saw many people lying in the street. And my friends told me they were dead. Before I knew they were dead, I actually got a little bit close. I didn't know any of them.
I see. Fair enough. What of the rest of you?
I heard the explosion. I went out there and inquired after a lady who looked like she was a bit of a gossip and was looking for somebody to tell somebody that she saw something. And from what she told me, she said she saw something running across the roofs that looked like a giant puppet. And it threw something into the crowd, and then there was the explosion.
Excellent. And actually, real quick, I need to look up this part of the adventure. Sorry. You may know something, Beatrice, because you have lived in Waterdeep for a long time and have had the description of that thing from the woman. Okay. Okay. Anyone who's lived in the false... Okay, yeah, you would just know this. There's not even a check. So you, as you're thinking back to her description, it was a lot to take in the moment while the bodies were still charred and everything. But now that you're thinking back to her description, and you can choose to reveal this or not, up to you, but you realize that the creature that she's describing sounds a lot like these automatons that you've seen that sometimes march in the Day of Wonders parade. Which happens every fall and actually is coming up in a few weeks. And you also know that the Day of Wonders parade is sponsored by the local Temple of Gond. G-O-N-D, Gond. So, as you're thinking back, you sort of think about that description and realize it reminds you of one of those creatures.
Now, I'll actually say that. But, come to think of it, now that she says giant puppet, it kind of sounds like she's describing those like automatons from the parade that happens every year.
Ah, interesting. Seth, write that down. And of course, every time you're saying, like, the other guy is basically furiously scribbling things down in his little notebook.
Beard's not there, but he and Mel are urchins of Waterdeep. Would they also,
Yeah, I mean, neither one of you had that description, and I don't think at this point Beatrice had a chance to tell anyone else, but
Well, yeah, but I mean, Mel is there, so Mel might also
yeah.
Redbeard gets back.
Maybe Mel would. I don't know. Mel is not always the most observant. So
Now this is all like a third-hand account, or like
yeah. I mean, and Bill is a Waterdeep native too. So
So Bill, what she's talking about as well.
Yeah, he would probably.
By telling them that like it's like I mean like this is just what this woman said happened. I didn't actually physically see it myself, but she said that she saw
and who? No, go ahead. Sorry.
like a puppet or automaton or something.
And who was this woman?
Rather nobly dressed for this area, I would think. Like I'll give like a description of her.
Okay.
From watching that.
Gotcha. Excellent. All right. Anyone else don't feel they've witnessed or know anything of relevance to our case?
I have a question though.
Yes.
For the DM.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
As he was writing, or as the guy turns around to write something really quick, can I motion to Bill and be like, just pointing at him to like try to like distract this one so I can get the amulet?
Yeah, Bill's gonna kind of weasel his way between the two to break line of sight.
Okay.
To help Arlo with his.
I mean, they
You
are
have to be standing on the table.
Yeah, they're sitting on either side of the
They're sitting opposite
table.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you may need to do something rather more.
He'll go up to Seath is his name?
Seth or
Seth.
Saith, but
Sayeth, whatever. Bill's gonna go up to Sayeth and basically get on one side of him to try and kind of pull his vision.
Okay.
The changeling blows a big puff of cigar smoke just into the air to kind of obscure their vision as well.
Gotcha. Okay.
Just over the table.
So I'm gonna say Bill make a what kind of check is a distraction check? What
I would think it's deception.
Yeah,
The
make
changeling gets the
a
vibe.
deception check, and I'll give you advantage due to Oz's help action.
Oh, wonderful.
The boys know when to do shit.
23.
23. Okay. Yeah, so you think you blocked Saith's view. And Arlo, I assume you're going to do something at this moment?
Yes,
I saw the craziest thing the other day.
As that happens, I'm going to use sleight of hand to get the necklace.
To
Okay.
get, it says.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, go ahead and try for it.
Oh God.
Oh my god! You're fucking shitting me! Holy shit! You lucky son of a bitch! Okay, wait. I can't fucking believe it! I can't fucking believe it!
He didn't need any of our help.
That's incredible. Well, no, he kind of did. I mean, I guess because Barnabas only got a 20 on his roll, but if he had had advantage, which I probably would have given him if you guys hadn't helped, he had a nat 20 as well. So, holy shit! Yeah. So in the distraction, like a champion somehow.
dragon.
My God, Arlo manages to snake this fucking amulet directly off of Barnabas Blastwind's neck. What the fuck?
Wow.
Incredible.
Yes.
Incredible. Okay. Yeah, and then so you snake the amulet and spirit it away, and then the moment kind of passes.
Spell or something out of that one. That's a big take.
Yeah.
My God. That's
I got inspiration from the chat just in case.
holy shit. Okay, so all right, so yeah, you snake the necklace, and they seem none the wiser and continue to question the party. I don't know if no one else was in the middle of saying anything, right? Okay, so yeah, they said they should look around. Nothing else you'd like to share? And Sayeth says, "Yeah, don't hold back. We need to know everything if we're going to solve this."
That's everything I know.
Is anyone familiar with the gnome outside, the one who perished? No, none of you recognize
know
him.
him, but I saw his dead body.
Yes, that's rather unfortunate.
You know he had been in the sewers.
Yes, I had realized. Thank you. So, but none of you knew who he was, no?
No, do you know who he was?
I'm not really at liberty to share details of an active investigation, especially with knowing people who are not members of any guard organizations or anything of that nature here in town.
I'm an initiate of Force Grey, if that counts for anything.
Ah, I see. Yeah, make a persuasion check with advantage because you're a member of Force Grey. Yeah, you've unlocked a secret code.
Secret code. Hold on, I gotta change the thing. Not the bees. I almost picked my bees to make the thing. That one? No!
No, you have advantage. It's a
Advantage.
21. Nice. Well, I suppose the Blackstaff should be aware of what's going on, given that this is a arcane crime. We're not 100% sure what's happened just yet, but we believe that the gnome was the target, and he was, we think, running from armed pursuers, of which there were 3. It seems that the third person who was chasing the gnome isn't among the dead, if the tracks are anything to go by. They appear to have been approaching this very tavern, which is why we ask if you knew who it was. Neither the gnome nor his pursuers saw the blast coming, and the others seem to have just been caught in the crossfire. I'm going to ask you again, know you of any business this gnome might have had with the occupants of this establishment?
Well,
No.
we're going to open a bar. Maybe he wanted a drink.
Maybe he didn't want the bar to open.
Oh,
Speculation, really, but I don't really know. What...
Well, that's all we know as of now. If you think of anything else, or find anything else of interest, our boys are quite thorough, but there's always the chance they leave something behind. If you see or hear of anything, please do let us know.
How do we contact you?
You can find us at the headquarters of the... Well, I'll be at the headquarters of the Watchful Order of Magus, which is in the North Ward here. And saith his folks tend to have their headquarters a little closer to Castle Waterdeep, so...
Okay. Well, if anything comes to mind, I will let you know.
Very well.
I really like your mustache. It's very interesting.
Well, thank you.
Did
well-
you grow it yourself?
Yes, of course I did.
I don't know very much about mustaches.
I see. Well, if you've nothing else to share, we'll take our leave, saith. And saith sort of stands up and says, well, thank you for your help. Listen, don't get involved, okay? You guys seem like you might be kind of, rat catcher types. Uh-oh, we lost somebody. So we will get the stuff back as soon as we can. We lost Beast. It must be an internet thing. You guys seem like you might be sort of rat catchers, the type to get involved in things that maybe ain't your business. You know what I'm saying? Just leave it to the watch, okay?
I
You don't
have
wanna-
every faith that you and your boys will take care of this just fine.
See, that's the right
and that's
attitude.
A 20, and that's an 11 on a deception roll.
He sort of, he says, you know what? Actually, I'm going to have him roll insight on that. He is actually not that good at insight, though. Clear.
God.
Okay, yeah. So he says, "All right, yeah, that's the right attitude right there, baby. Listen, we gotta go."
Well, thank you so much for checking up on us and making sure everyone was okay.
Right, certainly. Yes, thank you. Well, it was a pleasure to meet you all. And Barnabas and Saith exit the door.
Okay, and as soon as they exit, and they're probably out of earshot, Beatrice is gonna look up the three chuckleheads and go, "What the fuck is going on?" But we'll save the actual, I guess, part of that for when Beast hopefully comes back.
Yeah, he's got an internet issue. It's going to hopefully notify me to let him in here in a minute. But I think in the meantime, we should just actually kind of get on. So, I don't know how long that's going to take. So we may as well just sort of do our best to get by at the moment.
Completely out of earshot.
Do you want to circle back to Redbeard for a minute? While we
yeah, sure, we can do that.
Okay. So I'm going to be making 2 passes over this area.
Okay.
One is going to be in my semi-official investigator disguise.
Okay.
I'm going to be using that one to talk to people who look like they feel like they belong here. So North Ward residents, not hobos, urchins, things like that. But I'm also going to be keeping an eye out for sort of like people who look like they belong more in the underbelly of the place. I'm not going to approach them as in my investigative garb, but I'm going to make a second pass later as myself to kind of squeeze the underground a little bit for information.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm basically going to be asking the same set of questions to both people. Like, hey, something just happened over on thus and such a street, and we think we may have tracked the culprit or who we think is the culprit to this general area. Did you see anyone suspicious? Which way did they come from? Which way did they go?
Okay. Let's see here.
I can be taking my morning and part of my afternoon.
Yeah.
To do this, but yeah, I'm making 2 separate scans. One for the regular folk, and one for the outcasts, as it were.
Okay. Yeah, so there we go. Now he's coming back. All right.
And I guess I should throw an investigation roll.
Yeah, so make an investigation check.
Is it 2 separate rolls for the 2 passes then, or?
Yes, it will be. So roll for the first pass.
First pass, I got a 22.
Okay.
Second pass is a nat 20 with a 26.
Jeez, nice. Okay, so the first pass with a 22, and sorry, I'm managing a bunch of stuff here. Remind me again one more time. You're looking for anything suspicious or anything coming from that direction, or
basically, I'm trying to close in. I've got these few blocks of search area. I'm trying to close it down to where I think this individual actually went. So whether these people saw anyone or anything suspicious, and if they know where it came from or which direction it went. Gotcha. And I'm going to use that information to kind of triangulate in on hopefully one building or one block. I'm looking for where did this thing go?
Yeah. Yeah, so you find out with that nat 20, we'll give you one of the beggars who. There's not a lot of underworld type stuff going on in the North Ward, but sometimes beggars try their luck up here. They usually get chased off by the police.
Sure.
But one of them you track down says that he saw a human man who was cloaked but looked very badly injured, casting glances over his shoulder and fleeing in this direction, almost like he was afraid someone might be following him. And he went in to Gralhund Villa.
Okay.
And Gralhund Villa is a noble estate in that block where you guys are. Or where you had tracked this thing down to.
Do I, with my experience with Forest Grey or just being in the various circles that I run in, do I have any knowledge of that place or who lives there, or what's
Let me take a look. Pull up these NPCs.
I guess it might be a history check.
Yeah, let me see if there's even anything to possibly give out here. Okay. Yeah, make a history check.
Not so hot.
9. Okay. You don't know a lot about them. You know that they're involved a little bit in politics. You know that they're ambitious, maybe, and want to rise their stature in the city. You know that that I'll give you that their trade is involved in arms and mercenaries, but you don't know a whole lot else about them.
Okay.
With a 9. So.
At that point, I will probably head back towards Trollskull Manor.
Okay, and so as you're heading back, we will pan back to Trollskull Manor just as everyone else. Just as Barnabas and Saith have left, what do you guys do?
Beatrice is going to be like, what the fuck did you do? Just the 3 chuckle fucks.
Hold on, that had nothing to do with us. Let me. Sorry, I'm
gonna
the
go ahead
changeling
and
drops the flume disguise.
I'm gonna back up Oz, and I'm gonna say, yeah, that it had nothing to do with Oz. I simply did a favor for Bill. He did a favor for me.
Wow!
And as you can see, the gold amulet and some things go and slip off of people's necks.
I think she's talking about the explosion, guys, that killed 11 people.
I was
The
talking about the
explosion!
but also,
I'm putting back
what the fuck?
Oh my god!
Yeah, so, okay, the explosion had nothing to do with us.
Oh, maybe
I've been
that's
keeping
why-
my nose clean. Oh, God, what is that?
All right, whatever this is, it's something between the Zents and the Xanathars. All right, but...
I saw that tattoo. That Zentaran.
Yeah,
And had that spider tattoo, Beatrice. We were all in the house when it happened. I was just coming downstairs. And Oz was in his room.
Yeah.
So maybe they figured out we were the ones in the sewers?
I don't think so. I think they were after the gnome.
Yeah, this feels like a hit.
Well, why would that
it just happened
weird
to be
guy
outside
from
our house.
He said that do we know that gnome? I've never seen him before, have I?
They said that gnome was headed here.
Yes.
Why in the fuck would he be headed here?
Well, it wasn't for me.
Maybe he was the owner of the bar before.
The owner of the bar.
I think the owner of the bar was the ghost.
Think real hard. I know it's hard, Bill, in your case, but think real hard.
It hurts sometimes.
And every time I think, I take 10 damage, and everything I have makes me want to die.
Beatrice casts a vicious mockery at Bill.
As everything is going on, I want to try to put on the necklace.
Okay.
And be like,
Does anybody know what happened to Red? To
I'm sorry,
Gray?
wait. Just to clarify, I don't mean to interrupt, Mel, but your plan, while there are still guards crawling everywhere outside the house, is to put the stolen necklace of the
I'm,
guard captain
trying it
onto
out.
your neck. And are you wearing it openly? Is it tucked under your shirt? Please tell me you're at least going that far.
They're inside
No, I'm just
Trollskull Manor still.
I'm trying.
No, they are, but if he
No,
walks
they-
out the door where there's still guards there, one of them might notice, hey,
No.
my boss wears that necklace all the time. You ever seen one?
I'm just not trying it on. I'm trying to look at it on my neck, see
Oh,
if
He's
it's
half
pulling
trying it
out.
on. Like you do
Okay.
it.
Yeah, half.
All right.
But I'm gonna put it away. I'm not.
Okay, I'm just giving you a hard time.
And she's gonna look at Arlo and be like, and you don't think that guy is gonna look down at any point and go, huh, my necklace is gone. Last place I remember having it was here at Trollskull, and come back and maybe inquire about the piece of jewelry you stole?
It's
just
not
lie
gonna
to
be
him.
here. It's not gonna be here no more.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
there's
helping you get
other
out of
things
that
in the
one.
house that are maybe kind of important.
Yeah.
We you want to tell them about it, Mel?
Well, the gnome had a bag and it had a bunch of gemstones in it, 5. And I grabbed it. It just sort of caught my attention. And so I grabbed it and then I think it's pretty valuable. And the guy was dead and the gems were really pretty colors. And so we decided to keep it.
These faces just increasingly exacerbated as Mel is going on.
I can't believe you would hide anything in the house.
Bill.
I look at Bill with like the most confusing face ever, and I'm like, didn't you just need my help not so long ago?
I don't know what you're talking about, Big Blue.
I think I need to go check on Fluffy. He's probably scared.
Look, safe space. Nobody here is going to report anybody to anybody, right? I'm not going to report anybody to the guards. You're not going to report me to the guards if I end up doing something sketchy. Doubt it, but I won't. So what did everybody find?
Beatrice, do you know where Gray is?
He's probably disappeared investigating.
Do I roll up on this scene at some point?
Yeah, I think at the exact moment, do you know where Gray is? He's investing. You come strolling
I
through the
just like
kitchen
walk
door.
in the front fucking door at
Yeah.
that point.
Absolutely, that is 100% how that plays out.
You see, we're not
Man
the
of
only
the
ones
hour.
hiding anything. He was gone during this whole conversation. As I'm like walking out with I put the necklace in my bag, and I'm like saying as I'm walking out, he was out of here the whole conversation. And
Actually, you know what I am
I
going to
picked a
need?
name.
Sorry.
After leads about who did this.
You know what? Sorry, you know what I am going to need, Red?
I just got here.
You know what he's been doing? He's been stealing a necklace straight off of the lead investigator.
as I just dart
Wait,
to my room.
You managed that?
I dart back to my room without saying a word.
Oh my
real
God,
quick,
amazing.
Red, I need you to make a stealth check to get past the cordon of guards.
Past the cordon of guards to the house?
I should have, yeah. Because they've blocked off the whole alley, and they're like searching for suspicious people, right? So if you're like parkouring your way across rooftops, that certainly would qualify.
I'm definitely not parkouring my way across the rooftops. I'm coming back on the street.
Like,
Okay.
And if anybody stops me, I'll be like, I live in that building right there.
Okay.
And I'll point at Trollskull
Well, their
Manor.
goal is to not let anybody in at all. So, but make a. Yeah. So you can, if you want to try to just like convince them to let you. What would
Okay,
you
so
say
what?
to let
Okay,
them
all
in?
right. So what if I get back and I see them not letting anybody in at all?
Yeah.
I will probably try to stealth my way
Okay.
through that,
Yeah, go
and I
ahead
will roll
and,
a 21.
Yeah, that'll do. Okay, I just wanted to because it occurred to me that they're
So I like
Still cordoned
roll
off, but
up,
yeah,
see a bunch of guards, be like, I'm gonna just,
Yeah.
and then I'll slip into the house.
yeah, you
like,
sneak through. Okay, and so yes, then you do walk in, and we'll resume that conversation where you were querying Arlo, and he was rushing up the
Yeah.
stairs.
As Arlo runs out, Oz yells out like, "I picked out a name."
Oh,
He's
what's your name?
gone.
Oh, Oz, did you? What's it going to be?
So I was looking into a couple different languages, something a little bit symbolic, I guess. Cassius and Weir means unfortunate liar in Elvish, and I think that fits me pretty well. Cass, for short, I think would be solid.
bro,
I like it.
I don't know.
Yes.
It's
can we just call you Matt?
Matt. Yeah, I mean
Wait, what did you said Matthias, right?
Cassius.
Cassius. Oh, okay. So it would be. I wouldn't have said. It's the fuzziness of the connection. So do we just call you Cass then?
Cass fits pretty well, I think.
I like it.
It seems a little self-deprecating, but I mean, if you're comfortable with it, that's.
I mean, I know what I am, right? Like that's the big thing. Anyway,
Hey! Your past does not determine who you are. What matters is who you are right now.
I lied to those cops like 4 times.
So Cass then.
I would like to remind everyone that stealing from the cops, definitely a crime. Lying to the cops and withholding evidence from them about an active investigation, also definitely a crime. Not saying that you shouldn't do crimes, just to be clear about what's been going on.
Just so you're keeping a mental tally of the crimes you've committed.
It is definitely in the Waterdeep Code of Conduct and Legal Code. That's what I want.
Right,
Is
yes.
don't lie to the cops and don't withhold investigations. Or
Speaking
anyway.
of crimes, what did everybody find? Bearing in mind that nobody's going to go to the cops here. We all beat people's faces together. And I'm sick of the secrets. How are we going to have any team at synergy if we don't work together?
Oh, Beatrice, do you really mean that?
Yes, Mel. I really mean it.
Mel looks over at Cass.
Cass nods.
Well,
Oh wait, shit. Maybe we should get Arlo real quick if we're gonna do this.
Arlo isn't even here.
I only want to do it once.
Yeah, hold on. I'll be right back.
Arlo, get back down here.
Cass runs upstairs and kicks in the door to the library.
Am I?
You're under arrest. Just kidding. Come on, Mel's got a thing. Come on.
Red, Gray, you really mean it? That your past doesn't define who you are? What if you can't remember your past?
Oh, well, then your past definitely doesn't define who you are. What matters is who you are right now. That's what I've come to learn. Anyway, especially in...
Well, it's a funny thing.
Are you a mind reader?
Turns out that, well, Oz isn't the only one that can do a thing.
Can do.
Well, what are you saying, Mel?
Well, Bill. And Mel steps out into the middle of the room, and she kind of puts one hand up in the air, and she goes up on one foot, and she starts to turn, and she pushes with the other foot a couple of times and turns a little bit faster. And as she does that, well, her clothes don't change. They all stay the same, but Mel changes. And she gets very white, and her hair is white, and her eyes are white, and her skin is white. And she's pretty ugly, and she's got weird ears, and she's little and scrawny. And there she is. Mel's now looking at you. She's a very young changeling.
I'm going to say when she actually changed, does me and Oz arrive at the scene?
Yeah, you guys. She doesn't start until
you're
you guys
there.
get there. I'm sure.
Oh, okay. I'm
She
just
did
making
it
sure.
in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bill rages.
I'm gonna use friend on Bill.
Nice.
So the thing is, I'm not some old woman. I'm just a little kid, a little guy kid.
Oh, dear gods, I swore in front of a child.
So I told Oz after I saw that he did the thing. And she's going to give you, and Mill is going to give you a short and very simple version of something happened, she doesn't know what, and she came to in a room full of people, and she got away off a boat and fell in a river and ran a lot and hid a lot and got to the city. And so she really is not a water whateverian. She's only been here a couple of months.
He, at this point.
Yeah, he now has gender issues, I think. And she just kind of like sinks into herself a little bit. He does, and stands there and looks at you. So this is me, and I don't know who I am.
Is that the first thing you remember?
Yes.
So you don't even know how old you are.
Well, I think I'm just a kid. I'm little. sometimes I get some little.
Shapeshifters. Cass, how old is he?
I mean, he hasn't fully matured yet. He can't be older than 13. He's probably younger than that. He's probably around 12, 11.
Asked.
Oh, yeah, you weren't down here. You ran out.
So you're calling yourself unfortunate liar?
Yeah, Cassius Anware. Unfortunate liar. I think it fits. Hey, I mean, if anything, maybe I'll get lucky and it'll be ironic. Also, it's a fun band name if I ever start a band, right?
Cassius and we are in the Unfortunate Liars.
Yes.
So are you mad at me?
No, I'm not mad at you, Mel. I'm just a little concerned because at this point, we have been taking
We're adventurers. You could die.
Yeah,
You're a child.
we've been taking a child into
You're
battle.
pretty good so far, mister.
Your choices are your own.
I've held up myself in the battles. I might have almost got killed once, but hey, I did some good stuff.
You just have I don't think you're realizing like the moral gravity that some of us attach to putting children in dangerous situations, I guess. Like I said, your choices are your own and you've proven yourself in combat more than once. I mean, I'm not judging you. I'm just horrified with the situation in general, Mel. Do you understand?
I'm concerned, and I'm also a little sad that you had to learn to fight that early in your life.
Thank you, B.
When Bill hears that, so Bill sees Mel shift from the kindly older woman into this small child, and of course he loses it just as I think Arlo sort of touches his shoulder, and so his scream, his sort of rage scream, sort of turns into. Why do I keep losing them?
Bill, I'm sorry. As the little kid walks over to Bill and he says, Bill, I really need to talk to you. I really need to talk to you, Bill. Please don't be mad. Please don't get angry. You and I need to talk about this, Bill. I have to talk to you. I talked to Oz and now I have to talk to you.
But Mel, you're a kid?
Well, Bill, I think so.
Well, that's okay. You know, you kind of remind me of me when I was young.
Oh, God, does that mean I'm going to be like you when I grow up?
Well, hopefully not as ugly.
Bill, look at me now. I'm pretty damn ugly.
You're not.
Oh, you'll grow out of it.
Oh,
I
thank
did.
you, B. Oz, I don't think this is turning out so good. Maybe I should. Oh, wait a minute. I was going to say maybe I should just go, but has it occurred to any of you all that I own this house now?
It's cool.
I mean, kid who owns a bar.
I own a bar.
Sorry, Arlo, go ahead.
Can I just say, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Can I just say, I fucking love Dungeons and Dragons. This is the best game. It really is. Okay, sorry. Let's go. Continue.
Child owns bar. Child almost died. Like,
Look,
It's cool. I mean,
So we're adventuring with a child. I don't see any reason why we should stop now.
Sorry, Arlo had a thing. I don't mean to interrupt, but Arlo was on deck.
I kind of like kneel down to get to the height that there's, and I say, "Don't worry. I mean, we can always protect you, and it's really fun to have you around." Mel, or what was your name again?
The only name I have is Mel. And I don't even know if that's really my name. It just sort of sounded familiar, kind of.
How about we pick you a different name, like how we did with Cass over there?
Well, I only did mine because there's someone else who is actively getting more popular in Waterdeep named Ozymandias Buckshank.
No, I think I want to be Mel, but thank you very much, Arlo, for suggesting something else. But no, I think I want to be Mel.
All right then.
Okay,
But
and
thank you.
Red was on deck.
So we're all adventuring with a child. I can accept that if y'all can. It's
It's a lot.
you know, it's just why stop now. So on that note, I did find some information, I think, about what happened here. What does anybody else know or think about what happened outside our front door here this morning?
Well, Gray, there was a gnome that was killed, and he'd been in the sewers. I know that because he had shit on his boots, kind of to just like tell you like it is. But he had a bag with 5 shiny gems in it, and I think they're pretty valuable. And I don't know why I grabbed it, but I saw it and it was interesting, and I just sort of dove in there and I grabbed it. But that man in the purple robe said that he thought that gnome was headed here, and they think that the attack was against that gnome to keep him from getting here. Did you know a gnome,
So the
Gray?
gnome is dead.
Also, a woman saw an automaton on the roof and that chucked something that turned into a fireball and was running across the roofs.
Wait, she saw an automaton on the roof that
Well,
was
she
getting
said
away?
she said giant puppet, but I surmise that it might be one of those automatons, like from the parade. You know the parade?
The dancing puppets. I love those.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, those
Okay.
puppets drop it like it's hot every year.
So did anybody else notice? Did you notice anything about any of the other bodies around before the guards showed up?
Well, one of the dead, there were 2 humans in cloaks, kind of look, and one of them had that winged snake on his forearm from the Zentaran.
Wow.
So we've got Zentarum and Xanathar in the same place at the same time, and somebody got away. It sounds.
Did you follow them?
Was probably an automaton.
What else did this woman tell you about the automaton or about what she saw?
Well, she said she saw a big scary puppet thing on the roofs. He chucked something, and it caused the explosion. And it didn't look like he cast anything. It looked like he threw something.
Like he threw an object.
Like he threw an object, and it turned into a fireball.
Like the fireball spell.
Judging from what Cass said and what the investigator said, it looked like somebody cast fireball.
But this woman said she saw someone throw an object.
Yes. Or something.
And I just rolled a 21 on Arcana. I wonder if that could have been like a fireball bead. Like off a necklace or something.
Those come in beads?
Well, yeah. Some mages are able to enchant objects, and so necklaces or bracelets of fireball are you basically just kind of seal your beads with fireball spell, and then you can pluck them off and fling them,
That's
and they'll do fireball.
Isn't that what you said, Oz? Cass?
I just said I saw a fireball. I don't know if it was a caster or if it was.
Yeah, and with a 21, that does seem like a possible, reasonable conclusion to draw. If you know, sure,
Well,
those are common enough magic items.
I tracked somebody across the rooftops to the northeast of here, but the people I questioned said they thought it was a human man. Who looked injured.
I will clarify. They didn't say they saw them on the roofs. Just that an injured and burned man made their way to Gralhund Villa.
Right.
So that's what you know. To clarify, so yes, Beatrice heard that the puppet ran across over the roofs in that same direction. And Barnabas Blastwind did let Beatrice know, because she's in Force Grey, that there were 3 pursuers of the gnome, and one of them got away, but no one knows what direction they went. So, and that
okay. So when I got to that area, I heard somebody talking about a human man that seemed like he was injured, but the tracking that I did was across the rooftop, so I may not realize that the person that was injured and the person running on the roofs were not necessarily the same person.
Right.
I also have to clarify that after this, it's already been a minute, right?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so after the minute, the spell will wear off, and I don't know how Bill's going to react to that.
He seems frustrated, but otherwise just kind of well contained.
Okay, so just to kind of not to accuse anyone of anything, but just to kind of revisit everyone's connections. We've got some folks in this group involved in, was it the Xanathar's Guild or the Zentarum? I forget which. It was the Zentarum, was it not?
The tattoo was the Zens. The shit shoes might have been Xanathar's. But either way, it seems like both parties.
No. I'm talking about you people in this room.
What do you mean, you people?
Hold on a second. No, we don't. I work with the Zents every once in a while as a contractor.
So we have connections with the Zents, but not the Xanathar's Guild, except for that we just assaulted the Xanathar's Guild directly. And the gnome that they think was on his way here, Xanathar's Guild, we think?
If he came from the sewers, he might not be one of them, but he is dealing with them.
Okay.
Tell you what, I'll ask around with some of my friends, and we'll see what's up with these guys with the tattoos. As far as I know, that's not standard issue.
My question is, who from the Xanathar's Guild would have been heading this direction and why? It sounds like based on what I'm hearing, it sounds like the Zents were chasing or intercepting that individual, but that he was on his way here.
Well, my question is this: who's going to blow up their own guys to get one person? There might be a third party in this.
Maybe an automaton, or maybe a third party. But someone or something that doesn't understand the value of human life, or maybe understands it too well and calculates that it's expendable, might make a decision like that.
Mel is going to attempt to slip away during this conversation.
So what I recommend for everybody going forward, I think we'd probably better sleep in watches. We don't know exactly the intentions of the people who made an explosion outside of the tavern, or soon to be tavern. Me and Gray can stay here, maybe, just to
have extra bodies in case something goes on.
Extra bodies for the watch.
Well, I sure would appreciate an extra couple set of hands to keep Mel safe.
Me, I look at Bill. I said, me and you can keep Mel safe.
Well, let's not look a gift horse in the butt or whatever. Come on, let's just take the help. We got fireballs going off outside. I think maybe sticking together is not so bad.
Speaking of Mel, where'd she go? Or where'd he go?
Yeah, so you said you were going to try. Sorry, you were going to try to slip off. I think that would be kind of difficult because you're all like in a conversation talking. So make a stealth check, and I guess anyone who wants to can contest that with a perception check.
Redbeard's got a 19.
Okay. Mel's got a 20. Bill's got a 10.
1 sec.
B has a 4.
20!
Skull, what the hell? Is Skull? Did you hack roll 20?
No.
Come clean. Oh, Jacob, your thing still says Oz, by the way, in your name. You meant. I saw you change the character name and everything. And yeah, okay. So Skull, you notice Mel slipping off.
But as she's slipping off, I'm slipping off as well.
Okay, all right. I guess. God, is this going to be a? No, I'm just going to say that so that you get off as well because I'm not going to do a chain of perception.
He was just talking to us.
Let me tell.
Bill's gonna leave.
Okay, where Mel was going was, I mean, it's not any great thing. They got to talking about something that was over his head. He is going back up to the tower room to get a certain thing, and then he's coming back downstairs. So that's what Mel is attempting to do. So if are going in the same direction, that wouldn't be a problem for Mel.
I'm gonna go and talk to Mel as well and be like, hey, what did you get from the little pouch? As we were walking up the stairs, of course.
Do you even notice that?
He is not going to answer you because we're outside on a stairway.
Mel said amongst the group that there were shiny gemstones in it.
Yeah.
Oh.
She's not going to talk to you outside of the house. She's just going upstairs to the thing. And when we're inside, she'll say,
from B while she's going to make a plan, and she's just like, right, well, never mind, I guess. Go team. Fucking
Rip.
Bill, if we have some time, Bill would like to try to speak with both Gray and Beatrice.
well, and Mel is coming back downstairs to talk to Beatrice when she gets done with what she's gone to get in the tower room.
Arlo wants to go back to the necklace and just give it to my patron already.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. So I think I want to end with that. We're about 15 minutes out, so I want to end with that, Skull. So we'll hit that here in a minute.
Okay. Well then, I'll just be with Mel and be like, Mel, what's going on, or like, are you all right?
I'm fine. I have to get something for somebody, Arlo. That's all. And she's going to run up to the tower room and get this thing she wants to get, and then she's going back downstairs to the main room.
Okay.
So, Beatrice, you look like you had an idea about what we should do to proceed.
Well, I don't feel like we have a whole lot of information other than what you gathered, so we might as well just, sleep and watches going forward and, look further into what you've got.
I'm real interested in the gnome, to be honest.
In the gnome.
Yeah. They said the gnome was heading here. And so that means we're connected to this somehow, but we don't know how yet, and that is a crucial piece of information.
That's why I recommend sleeping in watches, because if something happens, then we can maybe capture somebody alive and figure out how we're involved, maybe.
I'm interested in following my lead to the northeast, but I'm also real curious about the gnome, but at this point, the guards have probably gathered things up for the most part, so I may have to do some very, very tricky digging.
Hang on a sec. We're dropping a lot of frames, folks.
Oh no.
Is anyone who's watching, how's the stream quality?
They say good for me.
Well, that's Trish.
Oh. I mean, everything's good for me.
The resolution looked... Oh, wait, no, there it's fixed up now. That might have just been my end.
Yeah, it looks like my kilobytes per second up and down is cratering.
Oh, yeah, no, now it's buffering pretty hard.
Yeah.
Okay. When Mel gets the quick thing she got, she's going to head right back.
I'm just going to start recording this locally so that we don't lose anything in case the quality on the stream is bad. And we're just going to power through, I guess. We only have a little bit of time left. So, okay, go ahead.
Okay, so Mel was getting the thing that she had, and she's heading right back downstairs. So I don't know how much time that takes or whatever. She was trying to do it when they were having the discussion about the Zentaran and the Xanathars.
I go back with Mel.
I'm gonna try or Cass is gonna try and talk to Gray whenever he gets a second.
Okay. All right. So here's what I'm going to say. Everyone arrives back. Beatrice, if you would like to have the first crack at any other part of the plan that you want to jump at or talk about once everyone's back in the room, feel free, and then we'll start parsing everything else.
So sleeping in shifts. And to make sure that nothing goes awry while we're all unconscious, and if something does happen, we capture that person alive, and you can use that basement for something.
Fair enough. Okay. And then I'm going to be honest, guys. I don't remember who was on deck first in what order. Because, like, everybody said, I want to talk to this one, and I want to talk to that one. So, I don't know. Tell you what, why don't everyone just roll initiative for me, and then we'll just go in whatever that order is.
I'll go last. You said you wanted to end it off with that one. So
well,
I'll
if you're
go last.
talking to anyone else or anything like that, that's cool. I do want to do your thing with your patron last, so.
Yeah. Okay. So we roll initiative.
Yeah. And that'll just help me kind of go through.
Yeah, so we get great initiatives now. We'll all get 3s the next time we're in a battle.
Oh.
All right, so Cass was trying to talk to me, and they got a 23.
Okay.
Mel's initiative is 22.
That was
Okay.
a perfect 20.
It's higher than 22.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
23 is still higher than 22. So we'll go with Cass first.
And Cass is fine talking to the whole group, honestly. He just grays the guy who's got the expertise in what Cass has in mind.
All right.
All right. So, you all remember when we were in the sewer? We let that Duergar go. That's an inn with the Xanathars. If we can track that guy down, I know it's a long shot, but there can't be that many dark dwarves in Waterdeep, right? That could be something, at least, towards finding out who.
I mean, I could try. I could try to find him.
Yeah, I know you're good at finding people, and I'm willing to put out some feelers as well, and I'm sure at least a couple of us are. But I know you're the best one at finding folk.
Okay. If that's all there is to that one, I think Mel had the next initiative.
Mel comes back in the door and she walks over to B and she holds out her hand and she has this really pretty comb in her hand. And she says, when I was in the shop where I got the pipe that blows bubbles, I got some combs and your hair is so pretty then. And I wanted to thank you for talking to me about the girly stuff. And so I got this for you.
My goodness, thank you so much.
And if that would be an encouragement to you to work on the honey candy, I think that would be really good. And guys, I know we're trying to redo the bar and everything, but honest to God, we need to find a way to get upstairs and downstairs in this house without going outside. And that's all Mel has.
Okay.
I think she's the smartest one of all of us.
Wait, are the staircases not all inside the house?
No.
No.
There's no access, like from the bar, there's no access to the first floor of the living space. It's like separate.
You have
So you have to go outside
right?
and go up the stairs.
I'm planning on putting a little access in my room from the kitchen to my room. So
And you want us all going up and downstairs through your room? Cass?
I mean, I'm not going to be doing anything nefarious, right? I'm just going to be sleeping. I mean, I'll be under a blanket if my clothes are off. So,
Fair enough.
no worries.
Okay. And if that's all that Mel had, I believe Bill had the next shot at
All
it.
right. So, Bill's just gonna address the whole group. All right, guys. Well, we need to clear the air a bit, cause I'm not exactly who I say I am, and yeah. So you guys know I'm in the Xanathars or Zentarum. Oh gosh, those two are confusing, aren't they? Look, guys, I know I've been a little crazy and wild, and I really don't handle cognitive dissonance well, but well, to be perfectly honest, I'm kind of trying to kill a mob boss. And I think maybe that whoever that gnome guy is, he's connected to this somehow. I'm just gonna fill you guys in on the full scoop. Beatrice and Gray, I know you're Force Gray. Let's just say the Blackstaff and I have an understanding. Cass, I promise not to say anything about whatever we've been doing. We haven't been doing anything. What are you saying? What am I saying? No, never mind. Mel, we'll talk later, kiddo.
You a changeling too?
Let's just say I had to learn a lot of different personalities to survive. And
Okay, everybody. So, Bill just did what we in the business call blowing his cover. So, everyone, Bill, I don't know if you've done this before. You probably around us want to act more or less the same way you have been, at least in public. And everybody is going to need to act the same way they've been acting around Bill, at least in public, for the purpose of what Bill is doing.
And that's an excellent point, Gray. Thank you for bringing that up. I will continue to be crazy. Let's just say that I need the Zentarum to believe that I am a low-life dirtbag, friend of a gambler and an alcoholic, and that I do not like the cops, which is medium true. So,
You're not a big
still friends?
Let me get this straight. You're not a big dumb idiot. You're not a super duper famous bard guy who is also a drunk. You're not a middle-aged woman. Arlo, do you got anything to tell us? Hey, wings somewhere? Pigtail?
I'm married.
God, I love Dungeons and Dragons.
Congratulations.
That's pretty tame as far as secrets go.
Arlo,
I am exactly what I look like. I'm,
Arlo,
a mercenary and a free agent.
Arlo, tell them who you're married to.
She's a pirate. Well,
Oh.
she's a captain.
Which pirate captain?
I don't want to get into the gist of all this other stuff as I start to get a little bit I guess embarrassed.
No. This is a safe space. This is sharing time. You tell us.
I feel more
No, it's
betrayed
safe around you.
Tell
that
me, who wants alcohol besides Mel?
I'll take one.
I'm on the wagon.
On the wagon. Okay. Besides Mel and cats. We'll get
Is
you guys-
this your opportunity to test out your latest batch? Is that what this is about?
You
to
know
turn
what?
into?
I have
Because would love
3
to try
kids.
some. I would love to try some.
What?
That's a 16 on a decision roll.
but
No, I'm fucking with you. I don't have 3 kids. No. We're all testing the waters, right?
yeah. But referring to what Bill said, I kind of look at Oz with that face that man, we've been working with
I've been using for this.
you get you know what, I'm gonna just use Awakened Mind with Oz and be like, man,
Yes.
I can't believe
My boozes.
Huh?
I've been using.
Cass.
Cass. His name is Cass. Yeah.
Cass, I
now.
gotta remember.
I know we get
It's
so
a
many
brand new
changes.
switch.
It's
No
a
worries.
switch. It's a whole switch I'm gonna have to remember. But I'm sorry. So I use Awakened Mind with Cass and be like, damn, we've been working with
I think it's
almost kind of like the enemy the whole time.
Yeah, I'm kind of processing some
was
stuff
I
right
using
now.
intelligence or wisdom for my boozes?
But other than that, I mean, I still want to trust Bill because he hasn't ratted me out. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
I did poorly.
Oof.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
trust
remember if it was intelligence or the other one, but regardless, this is hands down. It tastes, it tastes kind of like feet.
Did Oz
But-
already drank this?
But it tastes more like the gnome's feet from outside, the ones that have clearly been walking through sewage. No, it tastes, it's musty. It's kind of like feet. It's not going to make you sick, I don't think, but it's not good.
Grace
It's bad,
sniffs it, sips it, sniffs it, sips it a little more, and says, okay, so this is almost vinegar.
It's like right on the edge of being, maybe back that aging process off a little bit,
Been there.
and it will be less like vinegar. And he sets it down.
Because of the amount of stress with all the secrets coming out in like one fell swoop, she's just chugging like this gross concoction she's made.
Excellent.
As I just-
make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
Can
Con.
Cass actually cast prestidigitation on the batch to make it taste a little bit better?
I think she's. I mean, given that she's chugging
It's
it, I
too
think
late
it's too
now.
late now. Yeah.
Too
So I
late.
think.
She like finishes the last gulp and then.
Yeah, you definitely get sick and regurgitate quite a bit of it somewhere in the bar.
New shoes.
I guess I just finished off telling them that I'm married and that I used to work with another captain as well.
Fair enough.
But that's about it.
All right, so
Okay.
married, not a criminal, child, changeling twice, I guess, changeling squared, gross honey, and cop. Not cop.
Hold up.
Uh,
Hold up. I am not a fucking cop.
secret
Horace Gray are
agent.
not the cops. Bill, help me out here. Horace Gray is not the cops.
They're not quite the cops,
Gross, it's
but
just-
they ain't exactly not the cops.
Bill, you have a
you
lot
are
of explaining to you.
Also, my honey isn't gross. It's just the booze that I try to make with it.
This one was bad. I can smell it.
But like the actual jars of like honey are fine.
No, the mint honey was good.
You know, I bet we could cook with this though.
Oh, probably.
You could
And-
probably kill a small bear with it.
With the
All right. And
Anyway.
on that note, we'll come back next time and we'll plan the actual how you want to figure out what's going on, what exactly you're going to do. But the first night, as you return to either your room or the library skull, or Arlo, where exactly do you go to try and do this thing?
I was gonna say I hid it, or when I went with Mel, I was gonna say I hid it in the library.
Okay.
But I guess since I already come back, I'm just gonna grab it and be like, all right. So I'm gonna get my token and flip it,
Yeah.
hoping to summon the patron.
Yeah. So, and where are you when you do that?
I'm gonna say I'm standing like in the middle of the room where she can sit down. Like I don't mind she's sitting down in the
Okay.
thing. So
You talking about the library or your bedroom? Or some other room?
the library. The library.
Okay. Yeah, so you stand across from the desk in the library and flip the coin, and you look down to catch it, and when you look back up, she's sort of sitting there, like with her feet up on the desk, with a grin on her face, and she says, "Well, well, well, what an exciting day this has been."
I'm sure that you've seen it all, huh?
Oh yes.
As I slip the necklace out of my sleeve, as I hand it to her.
She takes it. She looks at it. She looks at you. She takes both of her hands and she crushes it. And when she pulls her hands apart, it has turned into these like gold flakes. And then she sort of opens her mouth. You can see that she has like a sort of fox-like set of teeth in her mouth, and she just starts to inhale. And she just sucks in the gold flakes, and you see her eyes flash with like a golden light. And she says, "Well, wasn't that something? That was just about the most exciting thing that's ever happened to me in recent memory. There's more to you than meets the eye, my boy."
What's the next job?
I'll let you know. Just be on the lookout. Be on the lookout for, those big-eyed freaks, huh?
Big-eyed freaks?
Owls, my boy. Owls, keep up.
Right. All right, I'll keep an eye on those owls.
They're everywhere in this city. You already know who one of them is. Maybe you can keep an eye.
One more question before you leave, though. So, just making sure, each owl of those has one of those gold chains.
If they're important enough, probably. Nevertheless, even if you can't get the chains, have a little fun with them. Like I said, I always enjoy to see him squirm.
Right. So, what do you think he's going to do when he figures out that he lost it?
Hard to say. That's why we roll the dice. You never know how they're going to come up until the face is staring you in the eyes.
Right.
Today was a good day, and she snaps and disappears. And that, I think, is where we're going to leave it, folks. Thanks to everybody for hanging out. I'm sorry if our stream quality took a dive there at the end. I think something's going on with the internet, but we are recording the end of the episode locally to my hard drive here, so I'll just stitch it together if the quality from the VOD isn't very good, and we need to fix that. So, as usual, thank you guys so much for hanging out. My name is Pixel. I have been your GM, and we are going to go around real quick and just have everyone reintroduce themselves, let you know where you can find them, and so Jacob.
Hi everyone, I'm Jacob. I play Cassius and Weir, the changeling bard who just keeps changing his intro and outro. I don't have anything to plug. I hope you had a wonderful time. I had a wonderful time playing, and I'll see you next week.
All right, Redbeard.
Hello, everyone. My name is Redbeard the Pink. I'm playing Redbeard the Gray. I am on TikTok and Facebook and some other social media places. And what the fuck?
So many secrets and lies.
Like, I thought last session was like, but what the fuck?
All right, and Mel.
Hi, my name is Trish, and I am playing Mel. I'm a wild magic male child changeling sorcerer. And is that all I am?
Who knows? Find out on the next exciting episode of Waterdeep Dragon Heist. All right, Beast.
Hi, all. Beast. I play Bill, the not quite criminal, but not exactly not a criminal. And I hope you come back and visit us again next Friday.
Excellent. And Skull?
Hey guys, I do play the Dark Elf Warlock. I stole a very precious item today, as well as I passed the test. Me and Bill and Oz are gonna have a real serious talk next time. But other than that, you guys can see me on Facebook. I do play a few games. I haven't been on since college, but I'll be able to get on by next week or so. But other than that, that's about it.
Nice. And Haley.
Hi, I'm Haley Comet. I play Beatrice, the only straight-laced character in this campaign.
Nice.
I have a TikTok, and I hope you enjoyed watching the shenanigans.
Excellent. And of course, I forgot to introduce, I am Pixel. I also do Hammer and Pixel Gaming over on Facebook. I have been missing a few streams here lately, but I think I'm on a Minecraft stint at the moment. But as always, thank you guys for hanging out for this silly nonsense that we do on Friday nights. It honestly means more to us than we can possibly say. So, as always, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, in our Discord if you're interested in becoming part of our little community. I'd love to get us up and running with some more, one-shots and things. I'd like to do more streams. We'd like to do off-stream games for people and things like that. I'm at about the limit of what I can run, but I'd love to have members in the community who like D&D. If they're interested, step up and we can arrange things like that. So that'd be a great time. If you're interested in that, join that Discord and we'll try and get that rolling. It's not super active just yet, but we're hoping to build that community. And then, as always, I just want to ask you to consider, as you go about the rest of the week before we see you next time, to be kind to yourselves, because I promise you deserve it even when you don't feel like you do. So, that's all we have. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Let me tell a tale of a world where heroes walk among us, fighting through the darkness left by monsters
stand by selfish men, a tale of glory.